You know what I love?
Sports.
Love sports.
Sports.
When it comes to Texas A&M.
Where are you getting this information?
Let me tell you.
Welcome to TexAgs.
It's here. It's time. There's always a buzz in the air when you hit this moment.
He is a guy that has gotten better and better and better. He's just got that dog in him.
We will develop men. We will graduate players, and we will win championships on the field.
I think of him as this hawk. Before long, he's going to be swooping in on those quarterbacks.
And they embody what the school is about. It's about getting into hard situations and getting ourselves out. It's about working hard. It's about doing amazing things.
And this is a real program. It's not fake. This is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, this is a really good place to be.
You know, if I'm betting on anybody, it's the Aggies.
So it's going to be A&M and Auburn tomorrow. And Florida won yesterday, which apparently hurts us a little bit.
Why's that?
They can pass us. They can pass us from a national seed.
Even though you won the series at Florida.
Yep.
Now, who says that?
Committee.com.
Committee.com.
No, so we had Kendall on the show, and he was like, hey.
Wait, I finished higher than them in the SEC standings.
Yes.
Do I have a better record?
Yeah, you do have a higher record, but their non-conference was significantly tougher than A&M's. If they win 2-3 games in the SEC tournament, A&M. Do you remember exactly how he said it yesterday, Reese? I believe it was if A&M, if Florida wins a couple more SEC games than A&M, regardless of what the record looks like, and their strength of schedule and their RPI, they would potentially pass A&M. Did I phrase that correctly?
Yeah, for the most part. I think he said that Florida's non-conference schedule was so good that it would outweigh the road head-to-head win.
See, that's preposterous. And that goes in all sports. If I don't care what the like, for instance, somebody might have said, and I don't know if they would, Miami's non-conference schedule was inferior to Notre Dame's, right? It doesn't matter. Miami beat Notre Dame.
Yeah.
If there's any kind of tiebreaker, you're wondering.
And by the way, A&M did it on the road.
Yeah. Everything should be. That's why you play to win the game, Herm Edwards. So that's got to be just dumbass sports writers.
I think Bronny agrees.
Well, there you go.
Zane, he can maybe pop in here and tell us his reasons for it, but
that's ridiculous.
So that's what's at stake.
Okay.
So just win some games.
Win some
games because you know who you might play if you beat Auburn, who, by the way, is really freaking good.
Yeah.
You know who you might play?
I haven't even looked at Texas.
The winner of Texas, Arkansas.
Okay.
2 versus 7, I believe.
If it's Texas, another team, you won a series over.
Yeah. You're heated right now.
Well, you know what?
You just don't like stupid people.
Things like that. Just like I said, in all sports, if it comes down to who won the game, I remember. I'll go all the way back, and I'm going to say this because of TexAgs to show. I guess it was, what year was it? 2006. Oklahoma ended up playing Florida for the national championship. They got into the playoffs or whatever, BCS, whatever it was, over Texas because they were out. Texas beat Oklahoma.
Yeah, I remember that.
If there's ever a tie, you go back and look at who won head-to-head. That's what I think in all sports. So the whole idea that, Florida could jump ahead of A&M.
If they win the SEC tournaments the way I see it, that would be the only way.
Okay. Well, anyway, you know my feeling on it.
Well, can we move on to a topic that I read on ESPN this morning? And I only read a little bit of it because I wanted it to be kind of our discussion based more than what they say, okay?
Okay.
It's not a huge topic, by the way. It's just Max Olson writes, has the college football transfer portal killed quarterback competitions? Goes on to talk about how basically if you go in the portal, you're going somewhere to start for the most part, right? And what does it do to the young players that are waiting their wings and you're going to go with oftentimes a proven commodity over a young guy that has all the potential in the world?
Yeah, there's a lot of I don't know if truth is right, but that's a good theory. And there may be a lot of truth to it. That's why I think a lot of times your backup quarterback is probably going to be a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you're saying is, yeah, but when that guy, God forbid, a starting quarterback gets hurt or moves on, are you going to go ahead and stick with this guy? Now, there have been times when they brought in a transfer and the incumbents or the guy's been on the team beats him out.
Right.
Because I can remember a guy at a radio station that covered Auburn being mad at me because interviewing me and asking me about Zach Calzada. I'm saying, look, guys, I know he had a great game, but I don't
know if he's going to win the spot.
I think he's just an average quarterback. And the guy, he beat Alabama. I said, well, yeah, he has one great game, but if you look at everything else, he was just kind of an average quarterback. And then he went to Auburn and didn't win the job. And then he went to Kentucky and didn't win the job.
Well,
but he went to Incarnate Word and won the job.
Yeah, no, Incarnate Word was in between all that. But it depends on the situation, right? So, for instance, let's just say Marcel has an amazing year this year, goes on to the NFL, okay? A&M wins a couple playoff games, win a national championship, whatever narrative you want. I like that last one I said first.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do they do next year? They got a couple young quarterbacks here that they're excited about, right? Or do they go in the portal? And then if they go in the portal, what does that do to the young quarterbacks? Because the young quarterbacks are like, wait, it's my turn. And that's not just an A&M thing. That's an everywhere thing. And I think that's kind of at the spirit of this article.
Right. And then I guess they go somewhere where they feel real strongly they can play. I think it depends on the quarterback and what you're seeing from him as a coach. I kind of think, and I don't know, I'm going to be completely speaking out of turn, but if Marcel wasn't around, I'm guessing that that A&M coaches right now feel really good about Brady Hart.
And Hassan Long.
And we'll see how the high school kid, the guy that actually could still be in high school.
Could he still be in high school?
He hadn't graduated yet. Right?
Oh, yeah. Well, this week. Friday.
Right.
For my boys, at least.
So, we'll see how he comes along. But, they might be saying, hey, these guys look good.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if a guy that's been as successful as the guy who's now at LSU, Sam Levitt, and if he's interested in you, then you might have to say, yeah, look, I mean, of course.
Right.
But I think those might be a handful.
And then it has a couple of quarterback battles to look at. And I only chose the ones for that A&M's going to face, okay? So, or SEC driven. Alabama's got Keelan Russell versus Austin Mack. You've got at Tennessee, Faison Brandon and George McIntyre. So a couple very young, a 5-star freshman and a redshirt freshman. Arizona State, Cutter Boley and Jake Fetty.
Boley threw for like 2,600 yards.
He had a good game against Texas.
At Kentucky, so I expect him to win that job.
Florida, Aaron Philo and Trammell Jones Jr. Vanderbilt, you have Jared Curtis versus Blaze Berlowitz. Arkansas, KJ Jackson versus AJ Hill.
Yeah, I would have, and I'm just betting the winner of that competition is KJ Johnson. Whatever his name was.
Yeah. And I, from everything that I have read, I feel like most people feel Keelan Russell is the guy at Alabama. So, but again, though, A&M's going to be facing a lot of teams with new quarterbacks.
Well, again, I think it's going to depend on how well those quarterbacks look to those specific coaches. Michigan didn't go out to find somebody, because they felt like they have somebody they can build with.
And by the way, I said Hassan Longstreet. He's at LSU. Helaman Kasuga, obviously, is who I was talking about. Helaman Kasuga, Brady Hart. I think they feel really good about those guys. But I'm just saying that is going to be a trend in college football. It is a trend, right?
Yeah.
Young guys expecting it to be their turn. And when they're awesome, it is their turn. But when there's a question, right?
Yeah, right. Look at Ole Miss last year. I think this time last year, everybody assumed Austin Simmons was going to be the quarterback and he started. And then got hurt. And
Trinidad Chambliss took over.
And now Austin Simmons at what, Missouri?
Yes.
No, is it? Yeah, Missouri. Yeah.
Hey, this is TexAgs Live.
Yeah, you know what? It's brought to you by a gem of a guy, David Gardner. David Gardner's Jewelers.
David Gardner's Jewelers. I like your shirt, by the way.
Thank you. You know what? This is funny that this was my son's shirt.
Really?
My wife buys my son so many clothes that some of them he doesn't even wear.
When he was 12? Because, I mean, the guns are popping today.
Some of them, of his shirts, no, this was in
I'm
college,
just kidding.
but some of his shirts still have tags on them because he never wears. He just buys them. So you
got a new wardrobe.
He got home yesterday, or the day before, and said, wife says, "Hey, Quinn says he doesn't wear these shirts anymore. Do you want them?" I said, "Well, let me see if I can fit into them." And
you look good.
I fit into them.
Quality shirt. Hey, we're in the Rollo Insurance studio where the lights are popping.
Yeah, they are popping like your biceps.
Just a vascular veins. Sometimes they pop.
Is that what they're called, vascular veins?
No, I'm just vascular at the moment.
Okay.
And actually, I'm not. And we are where? Oh, Go Hour. So you knew that.
Yeah, Warehouse CC Creation sponsors the Go Hour.
Yeah, and right now we're sitting in a great place where it's cool.
Yeah, the Holistic Planning Cool Zone.
If you want to be a part of the conversation, multiple ways to do it. One way is the what?
Well, you can call us on the Buffy's Catering and Bartending Hotline.
979-693-1150. If you want to text that number, you can. But it's the same number, but you have to change the name.
But it changes. It becomes the Catalyst Pure Performance Energy text line. It's PPE.
PPE, baby. Let's go around the room. We go left to right. We go behind the glass. Reese Nygren again. Is this, wait. How many days in a row?
This is day number 3. 3 days in a row in 1 week.
And it looks like your foreman's right behind you.
He is. My boss is right there, Nick Savage.
Well, they're already preparing for Mrs. Savage to deliver that baby, and Nick to miss extended time or come up here with no sleep.
Right.
So
we got to get the bullpen ready, and Reese Nygren is ready. What do you have for us this morning, Reese?
So, friend of the program, Brooks Austin, put out this graphic of the top 10 most complete teams in college football, and he has the Texas A&M Aggies at number 8 on that list. Just curious what your guys' thoughts are.
I don't know about any team. I mean, obviously, I think we both know that these teams got all these 4 and 5 stars, and I did not know that Oregon was that complete of a team. That I'm not surprised by it. They spent a lot of money. I'm not surprised that Ohio State's on there. Does it go 1, 2, 4? Is that what I'm seeing?
1, 2, 3, 4. Texas, Oregon, Ohio State, Georgia.
Oh, Texas. So Oregon was 2. Sorry, I couldn't see that Texas part up top. A&M at number 8. Sure.
So Texas is the most complete team.
Huh.
Interesting. I like Brooks Austin, and I like his website, and he has a lot of knowledge. So if he says Texas is the most complete team, I guess they're a pretty complete team, though.
Yeah, they're complete. I don't.
When they come to Kyle Field this year, they're going to be incomplete.
God, I hope so.
Me too.
God, I hope so. Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Making her debut on the show, Ashley Munson. Good morning, Ashley.
Good morning, David. How are you doing today?
I'm good. So tell me a little bit about you. How'd you get the TexAgs?
It was actually my dad. He talked about you guys a lot, and he was like, you should go check out the show. And I started tuning in and listening, and I kind of just fell in love with it. I've always loved being in front of the camera and kind of always wanted to broadcast. So I was like, hey, why not apply and try to intern? And now I'm here, and I'm really excited to be here.
OB, we were very impressed because usually we get these knuckleheads in here that have never watched classic movies.
Right.
What was the movie?
I left my brush at home, and I can't go on the air with my hair. I got all crazy, so I took some of that
pomade.
Whatever Bronzer calls it. I put a lot of it, and I was just slicking my hair way back. And she came in and made some kind of remark about being slicked back. I said, I'm looking like an outsider. And she goes, oh yeah, good movie. And I've read the book. I'm like, what? You know that? Because normally we can come up here with these kids and mention,
Rocky,
Jaws, anything.
Oh,
they have no idea.
Let's play trivia. Have you watched all the Rockies?
Yes.
All of them?
Yes.
Okay. Have you watched Jaws?
Yes, the original one. After that movie actually was produced and put out there, so many sharks were killed actually after that movie, and nobody went into the oceans or anything because they were.
Nobody went to the oceans?
No, not many, because they were so scared of the sharks.
She's done some research. That movie came out when I was a little kid.
I was
you were 30.
I think I was.
It was scary back then.
I think I was in the 8th or going into the 8th grade because it came out. So fortunately, she was in Brock.
Yeah.
So she didn't have to worry about the ocean.
That's true. Star Wars.
A few, yes.
Never saw it.
I like Anakin and Padme. I was actually Padme for Halloween. She's really cool.
A Few Good Men.
Ooh.
Got her. The Godfather.
Oh, yes.
Okay, you can stay. She can stay.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas, fantastic.
Casino.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I love-
Scarface.
Yes.
Okay.
You got to know that one.
Yeah, if you don't watch Scarface, that's my
I
uncle.
love Italian mafia movies.
That's not Italian. You lost.
Cuban.
Oh,
yeah,
dang.
you just
Cuban,
got
but
fired.
like we were talking previously about.
Yeah, you just
Italian
got fired on air. Just kidding.
Dang,
Ashley,
that sucks.
tell us something good. What do you got for us news-wise?
So I want to give a shout out to the Texas A&M archery team. They actually won the national championship this week for archery. So I just wanted to give a little shout out.
I didn't
even know we had an archery team.
Yeah, I know they're not high up there in sports.
Of course they are.
Yes.
If they got parents that care and they have A&M
That's
on their
very
chest.
True. You know what?
Yeah.
That's very true. I just wanted to give them a shout out.
My old White Oak classmate, Toby Ragsdale, who lives over in the Woodlands, the Aggie, he's one of the best archers probably in the world. I don't know that for a fact, but he's a great archer. So
maybe he can take us.
Maybe he's tutored some of them.
Maybe he could take us for a cool little
Oh,
content.
he would. In a
Yeah,
minute.
let's do that.
It's kind of a difficult
I know he's probably
sport,
listening.
too.
Hear that, Toby? We want to go out bow and arrow hunting.
Would you like to go bow hunting one day?
Bow hunting?
Yeah.
I'd do it.
Okay. We should do it. If we got any rich friends that
Bow
want to
hunting
take
bears
us.
would be cool.
That would be great. As long as I'm got a force field around me and I can't die.
Bear spray.
And
Yeah.
Bears a big problem up in Brock?
No.
Okay.
All right, one more. Give us one more story.
I wanted to touch base on this. I'm actually surprised you haven't talked about it today, but Ed Orgeron returning to LSU.
Lane
Kiffin, back on the topic. Lane Kiffin.
What did he say? Did he say, yeah, tell me which door to go into this time? Last time he said, tell me which door to go out of. Well,
I kind of like Ed.
I like Ed too.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, I like Ed. Except when he's telling everybody to take their shirt off. He doing it like that, but, you know.
Can you do a whole segment like that?
Oh, yeah. Go Tigers.
Just wait till we go to 1775. It's coming. Oh, your poor throat.
You know what? Ed should go to 1775.
All right, we're going to transition then. All right, you and Ed have a conversation at 1775 trying to figure out what to order.
I'll tell you. I say, Ed, let me get this, Ed. And he goes, okay, good, that's it. And I'll say, let's get the sampler. And then we're going to sit down and I'm going to say, what do you think of this succulent brisket? Oh, that's succulent brisket. That's succulent brisket. And I'm going to say, well, how about those pork ribs? Pork ribs. And then I say, well, what about the jalapeno cheese? I don't know. And then God knows what he's going to say with the queso mac and cheese.
What's he going to say?
He's going to say, oh, this queso mac and cheese.
He became a pirate.
When we go in, he's going to say, I'm going to say, this is going to be one of the greatest meals you ever had. He goes, well, just tell me which door to go into, and I'm going to eat that. Go Tigers. You know what he should say? And afterwards, he goes, for now when I have lunch, I'm going to say, go to 1775.
Pirate Ed O here in College Station.
No, having Mike Leach. Mike Leach is a pirate.
979. You want to say the phone number? 979-492-6241?
He said it.
The website 1775txbbq.com. It's 1775.
It's good.
Hey everyone, David Nuño here of TexAgs Live. I want to introduce you to the team at Holistic Planning. Got Jason Barber here, Taylor Pankratz, and also Paul Meredith. Jason, I want to start off with you. What really sets Holistic Planning apart from the others?
Yeah, so what makes us different is most financial advisors stop at investment management. On the other hand, Holistic Planning, we manage investments, taxes, and estate planning all on one team, all underneath one roof.
Now, Taylor, when everything is coordinated like that, it really helps the bottom line, doesn't it?
It really does. When your investments and taxes are working together, you stop leaving money on the table and keep more of what's yours.
Paul, Holistic Planning is trying to expand as well.
That's true. We just opened our Houston office, and we're looking for people who feel like their advisor isn't seeing the full picture, because that's exactly what we fix.
And Jason, there's other opportunities beyond that.
Definitely. If you're a financial advisor and you want to join the Holistic Planning team, we're looking to add 50 teams in the next 5 to 10 years. So check out holisticplanning.com/advisors.
All right, so if you want a team that actually coordinates everything, go to holisticplanning.com. Aggies, this one is worth it. As a reminder, the final segment of the program brought to you by Double Dave's. That's at 10:50. But right now, caller number 12, 979-693-1150. We're going to hook you up with your choice of a dozen pepperoni rolls or a large one-topping pizza from Double Dave's. They've been serving Aggie land since 1984 with your favorite pizza. And, of course, those world-famous pepperoni rolls. Reliable in-house delivery, bringing piping hot goodness straight to your door. Just click on doubledaves.com, and your favorites are on their way. Obie, there's a couple texts that came in that I'm going to have Ashley read at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Let's start off with the back-to-back text from the 9-7. Do you have the text groove open or no?
Yeah, but hold on. Let me refresh it real quick.
I'll do it.
No, I got it.
Okay. 979-67, blah, 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 blah. That number.
So I have one. It says, Trey and Shiner, I love when y'all talk movies. Wondering if anyone is a fan of Vision Quest, a hidden 80s gem.
Isn't that the football movie? I feel like it's
I don't think I saw it.
Vision Quest I've definitely seen. Is it a football movie? I'm trying to remember.
I didn't see it.
I do know I said. But the one I was referring to is that it's rage bait. Don't take the bait, OB. What is he talking? Is he talking about the about the seating, the national seating?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying if that's even a discussion, that's ridiculous. It should always, if there's ever a tie or something to look at and say, okay, who should go over if there's a head-to-head competition, that should always, that should be the bottom line.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Also, shout out to the B team who breaks it all down. And we'll have half of the B team on with us at 9 o'clock when Coach Earley joins us. Richard will be here. And we'll chit-chat a little bit more about what that looks like and more on the why it could be an issue. But if A&M just keeps winning games, I don't know how many games that is. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Keep winning games. You're going to be fine.
Yeah, well, yeah, without a doubt. But in my opinion, again, even if they lose to Auburn, I think this committee should look at what you've done over the whole season, not what you did in one tournament that really doesn't matter.
Let's check out some news yesterday that we saw. A, Kay Nagley put it on the boards, and B, A&M Volleyball tweeted out a video. It looks like they're getting a brand new locker room as the A&M social media team put out a video that I think we have that shows Jamie Morrison and the crew breaking down walls and getting ready for this new locker room. Look at that. There you go. Jamie's right there.
There he is with a hard hat on.
This is good radio when we just stay quiet.
You can't hear anything. Yeah. All right. He's hitting a sledgehammer into walls, and looks like that's a player. So I'm telling you what's going on. Yeah, they got on hard hats and safety vests, and they're using the what do you call it? Mallet?
Yeah.
A sledgehammer to knock down walls.
Good song, Sledgehammer. Actually, not really.
Yeah, is that Peter Gabriel?
Peter Gabriel. Yeah. Your good friend. Anyway, I like
Peter
when
Gabriel Bach.
Peter Gabriel Bach. Does he look like Gabe Bach?
Tell you the truth, I couldn't tell you what Peter Gabriel looked like.
Me either. I don't think his wife would. Anyway, I like when good teams get rewarded, and obviously that was a great team, not a good team, and one of the most ridiculous runs through a tournament that we've ever seen. Happy they're getting a brand new locker room. Happy that Jamie's getting hooked up. Happy that that program is sky high.
Happy for all those things. Kind of sad about that 30 seconds of radio. no sound. But other than that, yeah, I think it was awesome.
I was trying to give you a break after your Ed O 20 minutes.
How about Ed O?
Narrating that?
Yeah.
How would Ed O? No, let's just
got that, Emma.
All right.
So what you doing? I should have knocked down.
I'm going to read you a couple of post-spring predictions for the SEC, none involving A&M, by the way, that I've read so far, from Athlon Sports. Okay?
Okay. I got my Athlon right over there.
Florida finishes 2026 as a top 25 team.
Why? Why would you say that?
But I ask you why.
Yeah. Why? Again, I'd have to say, why is Florida going to be better? Like, is their quarterback? I know the guy that went to Baylor, Lagway. I know that he was hurt much of the year, so he wasn't. So maybe replacing him doesn't seem that difficult. But who's going to be their quarterback, and is he better than Lagway?
I like John Summerall. I like him. That doesn't mean he's going to win. Like what I've seen of him, what I've seen. Like I think and at Florida, you have talent to be a top 25 team. So I would not be surprised.
So what we're saying is, not you necessarily, what we're saying is that Napier was so incompetent that Summerall, with maybe not even as good a roster, maybe it's better, I don't know, because of the transfer portal, but is going to make them a top 25 team. I don't know how well they did in the transfer portal. I don't know where they're ranked.
I don't either. And they have a quarterback battle going on with young quarterbacks, too.
I'm skeptical. Just put it that way.
Okay, we'll go to the next one. It says, Georgia finishes the regular season undefeated.
I would be skeptical of that, too. I just think the SEC is so
I'd be skeptical
difficult that I think it's just unlikely any team goes unbeaten.
They got to go to Tuscaloosa on October the 10th.
Yeah.
Let's see what other hard road games they have. At Ole Miss, at South. I don't know if that's that hard of a schedule. At Arkansas, at Alabama, at Ole Miss, at South Carolina. I don't know if it's that hard.
Well, you can lose at home, too.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, they got to play Florida.
They do got to play Florida.
And Florida's going to be a top 25 team.
How about Arch Manning wins the Heisman?
It could happen. It could happen.
Of the three, that would be the most yes to you?
Yeah, probably, even though I would think that the quarterback at Notre Dame, the quarterback at Ohio State, the receiver at Ohio State, I think Jeremiah Smith's probably the best player in the country.
Yep. How about Trinidad Chambliss breaks Jackson?
Trinidad Chambliss?
He breaks the passing yard. I don't even know what the record is, but I know it's Jackson Dart, the passing yardage.
Single season passing yardage?
How about this? If Chambliss continues, he'll win the Heisman, right? If he does what he did last year, like, you could have made an argument for him last year.
Absolutely. I don't know the Ole Miss passing record, but okay, if you say so.
I'm just going to read a couple of different ones. I'm not going to read them all. Alabama's Keelan Russell's college football's breakout star for 2026. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Vanderbilt goes bowling for the third season in a row.
Yeah, I believe that.
Auburn goes bowling in Coach Alex Golish's first year.
You know what? Auburn wasn't nearly as bad as the record indicated last year, but is that defense at Auburn this year going to be as good as it was last year? Because last year,
they were good.
If you really paid attention, that Auburn defense was a problem.
And this last one I'm going to read is LSU puts the pieces together late in 26 to make the playoffs.
Once again, I look at LSU and you're like, it's a completely new roster. Really, I think they got like 40 transfers in, some crazy number.
Yeah.
Are you going to hit on all those? I guess you don't have to hit on all of them. But, yeah, okay, all right. If they say so, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, because Lane Kiffin's a hell of a coach. Like him or not. And they got Ed Orgeron now, too.
They got him, too.
Okay, if you say so. I'm not going to look at that. Oh, no, that's crazy talk.
Yep. All right, let's hit a break here, and we'll catch up with Stephen McGee on the other side. Ground Shuttle offers frequent and reliable shuttles from Bryan College Station to George Bush Intercontinental Airport. So when you're trying to go out of town, you know it can be stressful because of the traffic in Houston, the parking situation. Obie and I have gone there where they did not honor our parking. Like, he bought the parking early, and they can't park here. You got to park in Afghanistan, and that's a long walk, believe it or not. So we like to use Ground Shuttle because they'll leave from College Station. They'll take you there. They'll do all the driving for you. They've got 9 shuttle times on weekdays every hour and a half and 5 shuttle times on weekends. They're great for business commuters. You name it, they will take care of you. They have a shuttle service that has up to 14 passengers if you're doing charter service. They're local. Camilo runs the show, and he's fantastic. Easy to book your shuttle online at groundshuttle.com. That is groundshuttle.com, or call them up, 855-303-4415. It's Ground Shuttle. Let them do the driving. Welcome back. It is TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. The Go Hour presented by The Warehouse at CC Creations. Time for our weekly conversation with Stephen McGee. And he's our QB1 and your financial quarterback at Paragon Financial Advisors, helping you call the right place for your financial future. What's up, Mr. McGee? How you doing, sir?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are we?
We're good. We're good. I don't think we've ever done this setup with you before. You're on Zoom, and we're at the Holistic Planning Cool Zone.
Yeah. Hey, OB, I'm curious to know how LSU celebration was. We have images of Frank the Tank.
I actually took a shot of tequila. I don't do that often. My son gave me a beer. I chugged it. And he was like, whoa, what, then I kind of sat over in the corner and, didn't move for a couple hours. No, it was a great, thank you. No, it was a great celebration. Thank you for asking. And we're still celebrating.
I love it.
Hey, Stephen, I'm curious. So I've seen some people reacting to Marcel on social media, looking a bit buffer, a little bigger and stronger. And I think we had the similar conversation a year ago when he had put on a little bit more strength. What does, other than the obvious, right? What does putting on weight, strength, right? What does that do for a quarterback beyond like being able to maybe even take a hit better? I don't even know if that's a thing because big quarterbacks get hurt all the time. But what mobility-wise, throwing-wise, just give me some of the things that added strength and weight can do for a quarterback.
Yeah, I think the first thing that comes to mind is durability, but they don't always go hand in hand. I think some of that has to do with just the genetic makeup of the person, right? Some guys are more prone to ACL injuries than other guys. It's just how God made them. And so, I do think, though, that having a strong core and strong lower body is so important to playing the quarterback position. I've always believed that as I got more mature and stronger as a player, that I was able to spin the football better. I just felt like I was able to make more throws. My arm consistently got better as I got bigger and stronger. And I'm not trying to say that there's a 100% direct correlation to that. But, I think for Marcel, it's all about fine-tuning the mechanics of a thrower. And just because he is a guy that's slight of build, and, I think the concern is always going to be that he's going to be prone to injuries more so than a typical pocket quarterback, just because running is such an important element to his game, and he's not a very big guy. So I think putting on weight is especially important for Marcel compared to a lot of quarterbacks in the country that, quite frankly, may not be as exposed to as many hits. I think every quarterback, pocket or otherwise, does take a lot of hits, especially in the SEC. So I just think it's an important development part for Marcel, especially as he looks to make that next jump into the NFL. I know that that's a goal for him. And so I think it's going to be, if he wants to be an NFL quarterback, you got to look at it. I mean, if every NFL quarterback walked into TexAgs today, I think what you're going to see is a very consistent theme. These guys are much bigger than you would think. And so they're going to be big, strong guys. And holding up for 17, potentially 18 games in the NFL is no easy task. They look a lot like OB, be quite frank.
What did you say?
They look like you.
Quarterback?
Like if all these NFL quarterbacks walked in.
Well, they used to. Like Sonny Jurgensen had a big old gut.
Yeah.
And still played. And he's in the Hall of Fame.
Model fitness. They look like Nuño. Okay, they look like Nuño.
Yeah, 5'10".
There frame mogging us on set here. OB just looks maxing us every week.
We were talking about, I get it, the durability thing, but
big quarterbacks get hurt too, though.
I see more quarterbacks get hurt in the pocket than running. Now, look, Aggies made fun of Kyler Murray for sliding. Slide so you don't take the big hit, Marcel, just like Kyler Murray did. That's only smart. Johnny Manziel was not a big guy. And you know what? He got hurt running, but that's because he tried to take on a linebacker, or at least a strong safety at the goal line. You run, just don't take that. And I think Marcel, in my opinion, would be more likely to get hurt in the pocket than running because he's so hard to tackle.
Yeah.
Look at the guy at Florida, number 12. His jockstrap was up around his helmet. He got faked out so bad. The two guys at South Carolina last year on 4th and 12. He juked those guys. He's like trying to catch a mosquito. You ever catch a mosquito?
Very rarely.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's good that Marcel is adding a little bulk to be more durable, but I'd still say I think when he got hurt against Texas, he didn't get hit. Right? So I saw, Max Johnson get hurt in the pocket. I saw Connor Wigman get hurt in the pocket. So, and they're big guys.
Yep. Yeah. There's no perfect correlation to health and being a runner versus being a pocket guy. I think that there's certainly an art to whether you're a running quarterback like Johnny Manziel. He never took a direct hit. He always had the ability to avoid or at least not take the brunt of the blow from a defender. He's always able to get down, slide, or deflect some of that. And Tom Brady is the same type of player in the pocket. He was a masterful at being able to deflect some of those major blows in the pocket, meaning that there's an art to being able to make a throw and then deflect as you follow through from a guy that's about to knock your head off. So I think these guys that have elongated careers, whether they're running or they're pocket-based quarterbacks, there's an art to it. But ultimately, Nuño, I think the important thing is that it's I think building your core and being an in-shape guy is important. And I think having some level of weight is an important part for Marcel, meaning that you're not going to see many quarterbacks at the highest level that weigh 180 pounds soaking wet. I'm just going to tell you, statistically speaking, the vast majority of quarterbacks are going to be 215 plus pounds.
True. And
the break even is probably closer to 230. Now, statistical averages are just that. It doesn't mean that that's what Marcel needs to be at. But I think even a guy like Lamar Jackson, who you're going to compare him to most often, is probably 210 pounds, I'm guessing. So that's another 30 pounds of weight compared to Marcel. And so I think that for Marcel, putting on some weight is a good thing.
Did you ever get hurt?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And miss games?
Too many times.
And miss games?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Were you in the pocket or were you running?
Running.
Okay. Always thought he could take a hit. But...
By the way, I just...
One of my coaches reminded me of the same thing. He's like, that Nebraska game really exposed you for your mental weakness that day. You were really crying about 35 carries. I was like, well, I think you would too, Coach. Oh, man. He got the best of me, OB. It's all right.
McGee, I just Googled what did Russell Wilson weigh in college. He's not a big He's not a big guy. But he weighed...
Russell Wilson, hold on.
He's thick.
He's thick, yeah.
He's 5'10".
Yeah.
He's very thick.
But he probably weighs about 210.
It said here in college he was 205.
205.
So, yeah. So, to your point, though, that's 20 more pounds if Marcel's 185, right?
How much do you think Kyler Murray probably weighed in college? 190?
Maybe. 178?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. So,
but he's what, 5'9", 5'10", too?
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, it's all about density. It's like, okay, well, if I'm 6'5", 210, it's very different than
Marcel could post up Kyler Murray.
That's true. Exactly. That's my point.
By the way, Kyler Murray weighed 192, it says, at Oklahoma, and around 207 in the NFL. That's per Mr. AI. Hey, McGee, talk about the balance or you hear oftentimes when a quarterback goes and makes a play, he's doing it selflessly, right? It's selfless. He's going to put his body on the line. But you also hear the opposite when he gets hurt. He's being selfish trying to make a play instead of diving. Can you talk a little bit about the balance that you have to make these equations in your head in the middle of a play? Because winners try to win. They don't think about the outcome, but sometimes you have to.
Yeah, and I think that's an important element. I think coaches know that. You saw John Elway diving for a touchdown in the Super Bowl, right? And so there are those moments where most often it's going to be third down and short. Like, we don't slide and come up with fourth and short. And I've seen a lot of quarterbacks do that over the years, which is incredibly frustrating as a fan and also as a competitor and coach. Like, you don't want to take away that. But to OB's point earlier, it's like, hey, it's first and second down. It's the difference between, let's say, being able to get down and slide and protect your team for, 2nd and 6 and 2nd and 5. There's not a lot of difference there. I think there's moments when you've got to go win the game as a quarterback, and it's third down and short. You got to dive and make the play. You got to dive into the end zone, make the play, expose your body. Those are game-changing plays, and they also lift the momentum and belief your team has. When your quarterback is out there putting it on the line, I think the rest of the team responds and rallies. So I think there are moments when the quarterback should expose himself, but the vast majority of the time, to OB's point, you just, great football teams have to have their quarterback healthy, and you've got to protect yourself as much as you possibly can.
Now, you weren't referring to Brett Favre when you said there were times when the quarterback should expose himself, were you?
I was, actually. Tell me more.
But to the point, Fernando Mendoza.
Yep.
There you go.
Remember, he took that big hit,
yep.
but he's in the national championship game. So take the hit in that situation. But there are times, the quarterback more than anybody should understand the time, the down and distance, all those things, and know when to take a hit and when to avoid one.
I actually don't remember how did Colt McCoy get hurt in the national championship game?
I think he was scrambling and he got hit by Marcel Darius on his shoulder, and his arm went dead.
Mm-hmm. Just bringing that up because it came to mind.
You know what? Maybe he should have slid.
It's a championship game, though.
Yeah, but it was in the first quarter.
All right, we'll hit a break. We'll do a little buy-sell lease on the other side. A buy-sell hold, excuse me. Brazzers Running Company, located at Century Square. They are owned and operated by a great Aggie and a great team over there, and they want to be your specialty running store with your outstanding selection. They have all the shoes you can imagine, from Brooks to On to Hoka, you name it. If you're a runner, a walker, or you're interested in fitness, you know the right shoe goes a long way in helping you achieve your goals. And at the Brazzers Running Company, they're passionate about finding the right shoe for you and your situation. They have Viore there. They have Duck Camp there. They have Turtle Box speakers. They have Stanley Cups. You name it, they got it. It is the Brazzers Running Company, located at Century Square below the Star Center Grill in College Station. It is the Brazzers Running Company. All right, we're talking about Burlebo, the heart of Texas. More than an outdoor lifestyle brand, its products created with you in mind. Currently, I'm wearing the performance polo, the Texas Maroon and Gray. If you look into it, you've got the state of Texas in gray, and you also got it in maroon. It's one of their highest, most popular sales that they have there. It is really nice. Comfort and versatility. You can wear it in any situation. Quick drying, fits the size. But Burlebo, they're rooted in tradition, fueled by passion for the outdoors. Designs high-quality apparel that works just as hard as you do. So whether you're hitting a workout, enjoying a day of fishing, or cheering on your favorite college team, their gear is made for the athlete, the outdoorsman, and the everyday adventure. And it's really nice. I wore this one to church the other day. People talked about it. Really, my kids were like, "Hey, Dad, you look pretty good today." From athletic shorts to your favorite go-to tees and performance hoodies, they have everything you want. Check out burlebo.com and find your new favorite gear. It's Burlebo, for the athlete, for the outdoors, and for the family. We're back here on TexAgs Live. It's time for Buy, Sell, Hold, brought to you by Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors. If you want financial guidance that truly puts you first, visit paragon-adv.com. All right, Stephen McGee on the Puppies Catering and Bartending Hotline, OB. We're not going to do Send Your Kids to Play For edition of Buy, Sell, Hold. I'm going to give you 3 options, and you have to pick from these 3 options where you would be okay sending your kid to go play.
Okay.
All right? Lane Kiffin.
All right.
Deion Sanders.
Okay.
Sharon Moore.
Okay.
Oh, it's a good one. OB, you want to go first? You want me to?
Hey, you're the star of this segment.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll definitely buy in Lane Kiffin. I mean, I'm a quarterback guy. He's had a lot of success with quarterbacks. I am going to. Oh, this is a dicey one here. I'm going to leave Sharon Moore. I don't know. Like, is he even going to coach anymore? Like, is he even? Probably no. I'm selling Deion. I think it's all fabrication. I don't like the message, the culture, the substance. So I'm selling it for that accord. But OB, give me your take.
I'm going to actually agree in Lane Kiffin. I don't need my son's coach to be a great role model for him. I'm the male role model in his life. So I take care of that, my job. But as long as Lane's not, corrupting my kid.
You're not gonna let your daughter play for him, just your son.
Yeah, I don't want my daughter to. So Lane, plus he's got one run to help him out over there now. And he went to LSU anyway.
Right.
So that I'm gonna hold Deion Sanders because I think Deion is actually a good dude. I think he's a bad football coach, but I think he's actually a good guy. And then Sharon Moore, look, I don't know what really happened and all that. And
it seems, yeah.
You want to talk about guys that just seem to be problematic. So,
well, I'll just say this.
No more.
Deion is the most accomplished, right? Regardless of coaching, just.
Not as a coach.
No, as a career footballer.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
Lane is definitely the most accomplished as a coach. Moore hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
I mean, not compared to them in that level when it comes to football. So from that respect, as for their personal life, just don't let it cross into it. Like Deion, I don't think has a bad personal life. I don't know enough about him. I think if you're a 5-star, Deion loves you. If you're a 3-star, yes, sir?
What are you wearing on your hand? Like, we got to address the elephant in the room. What is that?
Oh, brass knuckles, baby. No, this is
the elephant in the room's over there in the Angry Elephant Social Center.
I broke my finger, so this is not a brace. I always make a splint.
Splint.
It's a splint for my ring finger.
You broke your finger grappling in the ring?
Yeah, I did.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
Vision Quest was a wrestling movie.
That's what it was, a wrestling movie. But yes, I broke my finger.
I wonder if anybody had a splint on their hand.
I'm out 6 to 8 weeks, Stephen.
Oh, man. OB, we got to go watch Nuño grapple one day.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, we got to hit a break here, but anybody who works here, we can find out. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Iron Claw.
Luke Evangelist would be the first one. All right. Thanks, Stephen. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
David Von Erich. Oh, wait, there was a David Von Erich. Never mind.
Michael Earley next on TexAgs. We're back here on TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Richard Zane joining me to talk a little Aggie baseball, the double bye. Tomorrow they take on Auburn. We go to the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. We are joined by Michael Earley, the head coach of the A&M baseball team, who's already in Hoover getting ready. Coach Earley, good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing well. How y'all doing?
Great. Thanks for joining us. So we know the opponent now. Talk to me about what today looks like and getting ready for Auburn.
Yeah, we for sure know them, and they haven't been too far removed from our schedule. So sometimes when you play these, right, and you might catch a team, we played them in the first week, a lot can change. For them, it hasn't. So there's a positive in that. And, yeah, here in a couple hours, we'll head off to Hoover High School. Coaches there are super awesome every year, and they let us practice. So we'll get a good practice in. And, kind of have the rest of the day. We'll take the guys on bus to the stadium. How the format is now, like you used to be able to get a practice when everyone got here. It's just different. So the first time we get on that field will be 35 minutes before the game. So we just want to get them out there and let them watch the game, see the atmosphere, and enjoy being here.
My first question for you, Coach, is how are the boys enjoying the, quote, good hotel?
I think well, I haven't seen them much, so it's definitely nothing against the other hotels. I kind of like where we were last year, just kind of away from everything. But it's nice to be able to walk right down the mall and grab a smoothie if you need it. So I'm sure they're doing just fine, except for the autograph people that hang around it, which is kind of weird. I'm talking not kids.
Also a different situation for you guys this year as opposed to last year, double bye. How much have you been paying attention to the games that have been played the first couple days in Hoover, and how much did you watch that Auburn game last night against LSU?
I watched a decent amount. I think after the third or fourth inning when we got back from dinner, watched a pretty good amount of it. So it was a good game. It looked like a good, awesome environment, which whenever you come here it is, especially against LSU.
Coach Earley, you mentioned already playing Auburn not long ago, and not a lot has changed. What's mentally the challenges of a one and done? Considering you've played this team recently, you know a lot about their team, the way they've been playing, but just playing them and then hopefully moving on to the next one. How much do you have to think about the future games as you get ready for one game in a tournament setting?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to take it one at a time. You got to take it one at a time and do everything to win. We're going to do everything we can to win this tournament within bounds of, keeping in mind that, we play next weekend, right? Now we get to a regional, guys might be stretched or asked to do things they haven't done, but we've kind of saved it for that moment, right? So we're going to do everything we can to win. But also, it's you're not, I don't see Fresh Corn going 5 and the next day coming back and throwing us 1 like he might do in a regional. You know what I mean? So just stuff like that, you're not going to see. But we're playing to win, and it's just one game at a time. There's no holding back.
Ahead of your first game in Hoover, a lot of the conversation around you guys is the top 8 discussion and the bubble and where you guys are there. So as you enter Thursday and then into Friday, before you guys play, what do you think you need to do? How do you feel about your chances to be a top 8?
I think they're great. I think they should be. I think if you look at our body of work, and I won't speak on the other teams, but if you look at who those teams are, we may have beaten one of them head-to-head, and I think the other one just metrically, if you want to go off that, we're better. So, all we can do is do what we've done. We put ourselves in this position. And we just got to keep playing good baseball, and I believe they'll see that. And I think even if you look at some of the new metrics we're using, it favors us. And I know someone was telling me that softball really leaned on the Diamond Sports one, which we're great in. And when we have a really good RPI, and we have a really good strength of schedule, and we beat some really good teams. So for us, we've did about everything we can do. Obviously, continuing to win would be great, beating a team like Auburn. But I think if you look at our body of work, conference, non-conference, this team took care of business in the hardest conference in the league, period, or in the country.
What makes Hoover a unique experience? And I'm not talking about, the fans and all that. I mean, you can certainly mention that, but I'm saying from a pure baseball standpoint, what makes Hoover Hoover?
There's so many different things. I'll tell you what, it is different now, but it's so cool. But you just got people from all over, and you got people from different fan bases, and the city does a remarkable job of putting this on. And you see a lot of people. It's kind of like you see all the coaches, you see scouts, you see agents. It's just kind of like almost like a end of the year kind of like meetup area where you get to see a lot of people that you might only see a couple times a year. And then it's just cool for the fans, the players, and it kind of bridges you into that tournament style of baseball, which is why we do the week 3, either Globe Life or Astros. It's because it's a different feel, right? So all of it is, it's just fun. I mean, we do all these things, and we have, sometimes I just love the style of baseball where it's like, hey, you play in 35 minutes, stretch, throw, let's get ready to play.
You spoke a little bit about Aiden Sims yesterday at the media availability. I understand he won't pitch in a game in Hoover, but how is he progressing, and what does the plan look like for him to make sure he's ready to go next weekend in a regional?
The plan is for him to, he'll throw today at practice, he'll throw tomorrow, and he'll continue to throw and, be, by all accounts, be good to go and ready to go for the regional. So I'm not holding anything back or telling you guys anything I don't know, but he's throwing today, he's throwing tomorrow, and we're going to keep getting ready to go, and he'll be thrown in the regional.
Great news.
From a roster perspective, sometimes Hoover brings out the best of people we don't know much about. How much of those dialogues have you spoken with your players about, hey, this could be your opportunity if it's on the pitching staff or maybe offensively, but just in general of being ready because you may need a bunch of dudes this week?
Yeah, I tell you what, David, I think none of that, because that's all we've talked about all year. Like that's like a consistent message about you never know when it's going to be your time. Like some people might have moments, some people may have a moment, and you never know when that could come. Like you don't know. So no, it's just what it's been. It's a consistent message. Everything we've done all year has just been consistent, and that's a big part of it, right? I don't need someone thinking something different this part of the year. Like they need to be thinking and feeling like that all season. And if they have, they'll be ready. And then baseball is also a funny sport, but yeah, I think for us, as long as we can just continue to be consistent, play good baseball, I think we're going to be just fine in this tournament moving forward.
Yeah, we've seen that all year long, like Sawyer Farr early on in the season, and then Ben Royo for sure at Ole Miss, and then even Travis Chestnut coming off the bench to lay down a bunt, Coach. So with guys like that and the depth of your team being tested over the last couple of weeks, I know you don't want to have injuries, but how have these injuries helped those guys stay locked in, knowing that the postseason is here?
Yeah, I think it's both. I think the leadership and around, and you don't have a choice but not to stay ready from a work preparation standpoint. Like from a rep standpoint, you're going to be ready. The key part is mentally. Can you stay mentally ready and engaged? Because if I have one player on my team that doesn't play a lot and likes it, they do not belong on our team. Now, how you handle that will determine whether you're ready or not. So I think what this does, and if there's a silver lining in any injury when you got good players getting hurt, that gets rewarded a little bit and it gives them a chance. And I think as much as you can spoon feed that, it helps a lot. I believe in playing guys a lot. If they're playing good, I'm playing them, getting their at-bats, getting their innings, keeping that rhythm. And so it's just, it's great for them to get in there, because what's going to happen is, like, some of these guys, they're going to be back, right? But then there's going to be a moment that comes up, and I just like the in-game preparation and feel that these guys are getting.
And then we've kind of hinted at the injuries. So what is the latest with both Nico Partita and Chris Akopian as they, continue to progress more and more time off those legs?
Yeah, they're doing great. Nico's in a great spot. Just want to make sure. Here's my thing with Nico, and I want to really see him play today at practice. It's like, if I feel like Nico is really good today or tomorrow, then I know he's going to be outstanding next weekend, right? So there's a balance of that we got to make the right decision. I trust the team around me and helping out with that, and I trust Nico. So he's going to play in some form or fashion. We just got to figure out what that form or fashion is. And then Chris is, I'm sure today he's feeling great just because we've kept him off his leg. And again, it's the games that really, take us backwards, but he can't miss games because you can't miss at bats. You can't go 14 days or whatever it would have been without that bat.
And then I know it is not yet 10 a.m. I don't know if that's still a time where you have to announce a pitching staff for a tournament game, but if you guys have any more of an idea of what you might do tomorrow night on the bump.
Yeah, no, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't. We Auburn won late last night, and then we'll make that decision, here soon. Both Darden and Weston, from a pitching throwing standpoint, are in a good place to go. I just want to make sure everyone feels good and ready. So, we got here yesterday. These guys ate, and I'm telling you, when I tell you I haven't seen them, I haven't seen them. They need a break from us as much as we need it from them. So, we'll have that decision here soon. I'll shoot it over to you, so you'll be the first to know.
You're so kind, Coach.
Hey, Coach Earley, let me close out with a follow-up with the injuries that have forced guys into action, which has been great for the team. But how about the versatility of being able to move a guy from Gavin from first to third and back to first, and just what it's been able to do as a team for when you do hit these situations, especially in the postseason, that you have confidence, you've seen it, that guys can be at multiple spots in the order and also out there on the field?
Yeah, it helps a ton, and I think it's how we've practiced all year. And honestly, every spot, like every infielder, Cliff does a good job. Like they practice at every spot. Like there's been guys, I won't tell you who they are that have been at first base. Just because I don't want any speculation ever on who could play there. You know what I mean? But like we've had guys in different spots all year, just so they're ready. So it gives you a ton of confidence. And same thing in the outfield. Like guys move around. So you've seen some of these guys play set positions, but they've always practiced in other spots too. So gives you a ton of confidence. And just like a guy like Gavin, he's a baseball player. And sometimes when you don't overthink it, you just go play. Like for a game, I believe Gavin Grohovic could play every infield spot in a single game really well, right? So all those guys just do a really good job of keeping themselves ready to go any spot, any situation, and Cliff just does an outstanding job with it.
Coach Earley, we appreciate it. Good luck. We'll talk to you very soon.
All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. That is Michael Earley there on the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. We appreciate his time here on the program. Richard, let's hit a break. Come back, a little baseball talk.
Perfect.
And then you're off.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to head to the airport probably around noon today. 4:30 flight.
Okay.
I just don't want to be in traffic. I'm not like Billy where I can just roll in and the red carpet rolls out for me. Yeah, so, I like to be there. I'm more like you and Olin, where I try to get there 4 hours before the flight takes off.
Okay, I don't get there 4 hours before the flight. We leave here 4 hours before the flight.
And that's what I'm doing.
Okay, yeah, but like the way that Billy describes it, it's very unfair. Yes. I'm sorry that we like to be on time. I'm sorry that I'm a professional.
Yeah, no, I'm more in line with you. I'm very much more in line with you. I don't know. I can't deal with the anxiety of showing up at the airport 30 minutes before the flight takes off, after boarding's been going on for 20 minutes. That's insane.
That's the stress.
We did that when we went to Detroit. I've never been more stressed out in my life.
Yeah, like that. I don't stress out about a lot, but I stress out about time.
And I paid for that flight. The company is paid for this flight. Like I'm going to make sure I'm not wasting the company's money. I'm going to be on that plane.
Let's hit a break. In fact, if we get some baseball questions, send them to Ashley there at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. We can ask Richard, because I do want to go a little bit deeper in what Kendall told us yesterday about why we need to monitor Florida. I know that you guys got into it on the B team, and you heard Olin's response to it, which I kind of feel the same way, but let's just talk it out on the other side, plus some baseball stuff. Right now, if you're looking for real peace of mind when it comes to your money, check out Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors. They're an independent fiduciary serving clients all across Texas. You got no sales pitches, no commissions, just honest financial planning and investment management. And what sets them apart is the over 9 CFPs, the CFA, and the CPA all on staff. They take their credentials seriously, and they work tirelessly to help you build a future that you can feel good about. Go to paragon-adv.com or give them a call, 979-693-3907, to schedule your free consultation today. It is Paragon Financial Advisors, integrity, expertise, and trust. Paragon Financial Advisors. I wish I had Olin here for it because he loves energy drinks. Catalyst Citrus Spark. This is one of the new flavors out there. Whether you're grinding through workouts, cramming for a test, or closing in on a deal, or getting ready for TexAgs Live, you never know, right? Fast becoming the go-to fuel for Aggies everywhere. Zero sugar. I'm all in for that. Or synthetic sweeteners, no artificial colors or flavors. Catalyst delivers clean, high-performance energy with smooth, crisp taste that is never syrupy, designed for both health and hustle. You want to get going? You use this Catalyst right here. It's about pure energy and pure results. And what sets them apart? Packed with premium nootropics blended to boost focus, clarity, and mental stamina. I need this. I'm in, guys. I'm in. Plus, with plant-based caffeine, vitamin B12, B6, Catalyst supports metabolism and energy production, making it more than a drink. It's your lifestyle training partner. Built for competitors on the field, Catalyst fuels strength, focus, and pure results. Buy now at drinkcatalyst.com. That is drinkcatalyst.com. Train harder, think sharper, pure results. It's Catalyst. And we're back here on TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. Richard Zane's still in studio. All right, so I'm going to set it up for you. You were probably working this morning. I told OB after my conversation with Kendall Rogers yesterday on the show, we need to watch out for Florida. Florida winning yesterday puts a little pressure on A&M. And he's like, why? Did they have a better record than us? No. We beat them, right? Yes. We went on the road and beat them, right? Yes. I don't get it. And he was angry. I mean, fan angry. You know, like. And by the way, I feel the same way he does. I understand the why not. I don't know if I can verbalize it as well as you can, but I'm going to lay some things out on the table for you, Richard. Their non-conference was great, or not great, significantly better than A&M's. And if they win a couple more games, or maybe one or two more games at Hoover, that changes the conversation. So take it from there.
So Florida had a good non-conference. A&M had a great non-conference too. 21-2 is really stinking good in the non-conference, except their non-conference strength of schedule is 211. And if you look at the top 15 teams in RPI, and I know RPI is not the end-all be-all as it used to be just a couple years ago, but there's only 2 teams ranked lower than 200 in non-conference strength of schedule. Can you name them? I've already given you one. It's Texas A&M. Can you name the other?
Texas.
It's Georgia.
Oh, sorry.
And it doesn't matter because
they dominated
Georgia won
the conference.
league by 4.5 games. They're going to be a top 8 national seed. So when it comes to the different metrics, and RPI is one of them, DSR is the flavor of the month, it seems like.
What does that stand for?
It stands for Diamond Sports Rating. And if you haven't, there's a really good hour-and-a-half long podcast that 11.7 did where they tried with the guy who helped create the algorithm where they go through it. It's essentially a point system where you gain and lose points throughout the season based on who you play, when you play them, and I do mean win specific day of the week, as in a Friday game's weighted more than a Tuesday game, or a Friday game might be weighted more than a Sunday game. And it factors in ballpark, and it factors in margin of victory or loss, right? So it stands to reason that A&M's best win is over a team that was ranked high in DSR, and they beat them pretty good, maybe on like a Saturday afternoon at Bluebell Park, and the other team was wearing burnt orange, right? But Florida's best win in DSR is over Texas A&M when Aiden King was on the mound, the first game of that 3-game series. So head-to-head matters to some extent, but it's such a long season, and so much has changed since Texas A&M went to Gainesville. Nico Partita was healthy in that series, and Chris Akopian was healthy in that series in the last couple of innings, and there were no questions surrounding Aiden Sims at that point, at least, to public knowledge, right? But things have changed, and all of that's going to be taken into consideration. The head-to-head's going to still be taken into consideration, but what A&M can do is help their case over Florida by winning a game in Hoover, maybe winning 2 games in Hoover, and then if Florida were to bow out today, that would also help Texas A&M.
Had they lost yesterday, wouldn't their RPI have gone down 34 points or something?
I don't know if it would have gone down. I mean, 34 spots, probably not. Florida's pretty good in RPI. Right now, they are 10th, A&M's 11th, according to Warren Nolan's live RPI. Their strength of schedule is number 2 in the country. So what Florida's done this season has been pretty impressive, especially the back half of the year. However, A&M's been pretty solid all year long. We know that, except for the 2-series blip against Auburn and Ole Miss. You're going to have a chance to, I don't know if it would balance out or negate the series loss to Auburn. But if you beat them, one, it's another conference win. It's 19 wins against the SEC, and it's another win against a team that is a surefire lock to be a top 8 national seed. So to Coach Earley's point, handle your business. Your body of work will speak for itself. Now, if you're a fan, definitely root against Florida today. Root against Florida State when they play in the ACC quarterfinals tomorrow. And then I didn't see what
There's another team we're watching out for, right?
Southern Miss ended up doing last night. I didn't see how that game ended.
Those are basically the 3 teams that could pass A&M.
Yes. Southern Miss ended up beating Georgia State last night after a weather delay. So you need Southern Miss to probably take a loss there in the Sun Belt, but it's the Sun Belt, right? If A&M wins a game in the SEC tournament, you get to 19 league wins. I still think your resume is going to be better.
You get to
than
19, and it's Auburn that you beat, who I guess
Auburn's metrics are really impressive too, right? You're talking RPI, DSR, and KPI. And Auburn's 3 in RPI. They are 6 in DSR, and in KPI, they're 3. So if that's another resume boosting victory, if you can beat the Tigers on Friday evening.
The most impressive teams that I saw with my baseball eyes, which are not as trained as yours and Bronny, would be Auburn and Georgia. For that I saw A&M play.
Yeah, I'd throw UCLA in there for sure. I said
SEC.
I think I said on air that the two most impressive teams I watched for a 3-game weekend were UCLA up in Arlington. I know they didn't play A&M all 3 games, but I got to watch the Bruins with my own eyes, and then that series from Auburn was impressive.
And I know Texas is too, but that atmosphere was so overwhelming A&M.
And we didn't get to see Volantis throw. Right. We didn't get to see that 3rd game. That's a good ball club too. So I would say those 3 teams have been the best I've seen with my own eyes so far this year. And then I didn't get to go to Gainesville. I didn't go to Oxford. I didn't think that Ole Miss team was all that good. And I didn't get to watch Florida in person. But they were impressive at least on that Friday night. And they're really stinking good with Aiden King's on them.
Yeah. So what's your guess pitching-wise tomorrow?
My guess tomorrow sounds like another Ethan Darden start. I don't know if you consider him an opener. If you get another outing like he gave you on Saturday against Mississippi State, she'll take that, take it to the bank. If he gets you into the 4th, and then you can figure out whether it's Sadeo behind him or Lyons or maybe even Moss. I don't know. But I do think it's going to be Ethan Darden for the 3rd time in an unprecedented 4 games. That's crazy to say, but he's earned it, and you get through the game on Friday and figure out Saturday when you get there. But this feels like it's not a must-win. It's not, because we know Texas A&M is going to host a regional. But you really need to win it to feel good about your top 8 chances.
But if you win and Florida wins, does that win do anything for you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to continue to help those metrics, and the metrics are going to matter when the selection committee meets behind closed doors, whenever that may be. So all you can keep doing is helping your case, and wins are what's going to help your case.
Let's say you lose and Florida loses. Has Florida done enough?
I don't think Florida will have done enough.
Okay.
But then it becomes about, well, will Florida State do enough in Charlotte? And will Southern Miss do enough wherever the Sun Belt tournament's being played? It seems like A&M could be sweating it out come Monday about whether or not they're a top 8 seed. I felt really good on Saturday after they beat Mississippi State that A&M had locked it down. But just, I guess, the nature of me being the pessimist when it comes to A&M and selection committees, as the week has gone on, I've started thinking that A&M's work is not done. And luckily, they have a chance to make another good account of themselves in Hoover this weekend.
I was trying to decode what Coach Earley was saying, and there's not a lot of decoding you have to do with him. He pretty much tells you, and if he doesn't want to tell you something, he doesn't tell you something, right? The Nico thing I found interesting, because it almost felt like to me when I'm hearing him say, we'll see how he looks today. If he looks good, then we know he'll look great next week. So if he looks good, I almost feel like they don't play him tomorrow. If he looks great, then they play him tomorrow. That's how I heard it, but am I hearing it wrong?
No, I took it to mean much of the same thing. And if he looks great, it might be his first time at 100%. I don't know. He told us last week that he was running up to 84% per his Catapult GPS tracker, and they wanted to reel him back down closer to 70. You obviously saw him getting at bat. He did not run after that walk in the 7th inning against Mississippi State on Saturday. I'm of the mindset that even if he looks great today in practice and he's feeling good at 100%,
you hold him one more day.
Rest is a good thing. And Gavin Grohovac has played fantastic defense over at third base since sliding over. Blake Benderup had a good weekend at the plate, so you feel good about him at first base for another week. There's no sense in rushing him back, considering how important of a piece he is to this A&M offense and the team as a whole when you have bigger things to play for than a conference title. Of course, when there's a trophy at stake, you want to win it. So it's a tough decision whether or not you put him in there. But I'm of the mindset that you give him another weekend.
You've never been to Hoover, right?
I have never been to Hoover, so it'll be
you went
I have
with us.
been to Hoover,
not to the ballpark. Sorry.
I've never been to the ballpark. The only time I went to Hoover, we stayed at the Winfrey Hotel, which is very nice, and the ability to walk down.
That was our first trip together.
Grab a Chick-fil-A is great, and of course the bombshell about Texas and Oklahoma dropped while we were there. But no, I've never been there for baseball, and unfortunately, but unfortunately, A&M's played themselves into a great spot where there's only going to be 2 games going on Friday. so you won't get the full 4 games in 1 day experience, but I'm okay with that. I'm just excited to see what the Aggies can do and hopefully, as we said, make another great account of themselves and leave a good impression in the minds of the selection committee when they sit down to figure out the field of 64.
And I guess I'll close with this. Just because let's just say Florida got hot and they got that 8th seed, just for kicks and giggles to talk about. Doesn't mean A&M isn't hosting a super regional, because anything can happen in a regional that bumps A&M back up.
And it doesn't, if A&M is hosting a regional, it doesn't mean they're going to get out of their own regional.
Right.
You have to play good baseball. This is postseason baseball. You got to win in all 3 phases: pitching, defense, timely hitting. That's what it's going to take to win this weekend in Hoover, win next weekend in College Station, and win the weekend after that wherever you may be, whether that's Aggie land or elsewhere. And to your point, A&M fans should know that the unexpected can happen. Think about 2017.
Yeah.
A&M went to Houston, beat the Cougars in their own regional, and then somehow, by some stroke of good luck, the Davidson Wildcats took down the number 2 national seed in Chapel Hill, and we were back at Bluebell Park for an unexpected super regional. So to your point, postseason baseball, anything can and will happen. So you just have to take care of your own business and play the game.
Thank you, Richard. Safe travels, buddy. Enjoy your trip.
I will try. Culver's. We're going to get some Culver's. It's a
Culver?
Southern delicacy. You've heard
Culver's.
that, right?
I've seen Culver's. Culver's is like a Brahms kind of place?
Yeah, it's kind of like a Freddy's. Like a Freddy's. It's from the Midwest, but some people who work here think it's a Southern delicacy.
Okay. I probably wouldn't stop there, personally.
No, you would not. It is not. There's way too much fried food there.
I love fried food.
In moderation, but like this is all fried food.
It's all fried.
And ice cream. Well, custard.
I'm out.
Yeah,
all right, because I'm not a normal human. When it comes to telling your family story, you got to trust somebody you love. And if you haven't thought about telling your family story, you're missing out. Reach out to the good people at Heritage Films. Chance McClain's company is a dear friend of mine. He loves to tell people stories in a documentary form. So we all have stories, right? So if you do not share that family story, that's cool. You know, you guys can always talk about it like, yeah, remember back in 20 years ago when we did this? How about actually having a video that's going to be beat the test of time, right? So 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 100 years from now, from the source, right? My dad, we did his a couple years back. He's going to be 96 this summer, right? And no day is guaranteed, but we did this video and we got to find out everything about him escaping Cuba and meeting my mom and coming to the United States, all the great stuff, right? That's what we did. And there's plenty of Aggies that have done the same thing, telling their story about their family ranch, their family business, and they're leaving it for the future generations. Check out the website, yourheritagefilm.com. That is yourheritagefilm.com, or call Chance up at 713-893-8341. It's Heritage Films. I probably should have done some research, but right before I got on this segment, I looked online. Aaron Torres is on vacation, I think, and he's still going to join us. It's time for Around College Athletics, brought to you by Milliken Reserve, a College Station community featuring homes, trails, farms, and wide open spaces. They have a mission to build a healthy community around nature. Take part in the Milliken Reserve community with a Conservancy membership. Learn more at millikenreserve.com. And with that, we go to the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. That's where we find AT. Aaron Torres, good morning, sir.
Where'd you see that I'm on vacation?
Oh, I thought you were on a beach or in Vegas or something like that. I thought I saw you post something from somewhere. No? Am I making that up?
Oh, yeah. No, I am. I'm in Vegas. Not really a vacation. I got some family out here. So, it's that time of year, David. You get out to see some people, this and that. I will be taking some, more traditional vacation, over the next month or so. But no, I am out of town. I am in Vegas, just hanging out, watching some sports, hanging out. Yeah. So you're right. I am away. I didn't know because I didn't really post that much, but yeah, no, you're correct. I am away, but I am away, but David, Nuño, and TexAgs Radio are always close to my heart, and so I am here ready to chat whatever you want to chat for the next couple minutes, my man. I hope you're well.
All right, are you into talking about aliens or no?
This feels like a really hot button issue right now. My stance on it. Okay, do you really want my?
I really don't, but yes. I mean, I meant it as a joke, but now I'm interested. Yes.
No, I've seen like a lot of people talking about it, and you know how it is. We're so in our sports bubble of like 2014 college football playoff expansion. It's like, oh, there's other real stuff going on in the world. So here's my thing. I've always believed aliens existed. So like any report that's like, oh, these files have been released. I'm like, okay, all it does is just ultimately confirm what I've always believed. I mean, my stance on aliens is pretty straightforward. Hypothetically, the universe goes on forever. The Milky Way, the galaxy that we live in, goes on for hundreds of millions of light years. Like the notion that we are the only living being or the only place where there's suitable living standards, I've just never really bought into that. So, if something goes on in perpetuity, I just find it really hard to believe that we're the only ones that are living beings. So that's my alien take. And then, yeah, I just feel like I wouldn't say every time I go online, but probably like once a month and once a week in the last like 2 months, so there's something on aliens. And I'm like, I got college football, I got college basketball. I got a family. I don't have time to like do the deep dive on what's going on in the world of aliens right now. So
it's Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell here on TexAgs Live. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about the Big Ten and all their super friends, the Big 12, the ACC, ganging up versus the SEC, and I think most fans and media about the 2014 playoff. AT, what's happening in your opinion? What's going to end up happening?
No, I think it's exactly what you said. And the Big Ten has been pushing this. And what it really is that I think – so Notre Dame's in a box. So Notre Dame is part of the contingent that wants a 2014 playoff. The only reason they want a 2014 playoff is because no one will schedule them. And so the more we water down this sport, the less that any individual game matters, the more likely they are to get – a Texas A&M, and Alabama, a Texas to actually play them. So Notre Dame's in. My thing with the ACC and the Big 12, they think that their access will come by just simply adding teams. If you don't have good teams, none of it matters. And oh, by the way, I think part of it was the Big 12 had a team on the precipice of the playoff last year, and the league itself didn't even advocate for them. It was BYU, which entered the conference championship game at 11-1 and ranked, if I remember correctly, ahead of Notre Dame and Miami, maybe, or maybe just Miami. I can't remember. But the point I'm trying to make is they had just as strong of a resume as Notre Dame and Miami. Nobody was advocating for BYU, not even the league office. So that's why they want expansion. And then, of course, the Big Ten wants expansion because, I think Petitti cares more about making the most possible money, which I understand this is a capitalistic society, but it did what's best for the sport. So, yes, it feels like everybody is ganging up. I hope the SEC stands ground. Do I ultimately expect us to eventually get to 24? I do, but I did think it was interesting that Tony Petitti, who doesn't do a lot of media availability, said this week of like, hey, if we can't get to 24, we're not going to 16. Like, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this big. So my hope is obviously that if the SEC stands their ground, that we end up staying at 12 or even going to 16, which I would understand. But that feels like where we are right now and the situation that we're in.
Talking to Aaron Torres here on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. By the way, I get it if you're Illinois, if you're Iowa, if you're any Big 12 team outside of maybe the top 1 or 2. Like, I get it from their perspective, but I want my playoffs to feel exclusive. And I want my playoffs to be about teams that actually have a chance to compete. And that's, so 24 is ridiculous, and I'm not going to change my mind on that. I want to move on to Will Wade because I don't like him. Sorry, there's something about him I don't like. But I also think it's interesting the strays he's catching versus other programs doing something very similar. I know there's a different situation with some of the guys he's brought on. I get that. Why do you think Will Wade has become such a volatile name if he's doing what others are doing, but maybe in a different way?
So 2 things. One, really quickly to put a bow on the college football playoff expansion. By the way, I think whoever's working at Bryan's studios cuts my mic when you're talking because I was trying to jump in there just to piggyback this point. But the 2014 playoff, I'll be super quick on this, then we'll get to Will Wade. This is my same argument for college football or college basketball expansion. Is you're exactly right. Like with due respect to Illinois, with due respect to Illinois, I don't want you in my playoff unless you're good enough. By the way, because you would have said we're going to 24 2 years ago. Oh well, that'll give a school like Indiana a chance. No, Indiana stepped up its game, hired the right coach, and boom, they're in. And so I don't feel bad for Illinois. I don't feel bad for Vanderbilt. Earn your way into 12, whatever. As far as Will Wade is concerned, so here's the thing is, and I tweeted this and I said it, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And I haven't seen all of Todd Golden's response, but Todd Golden basically said, like, you're pushing every boundary that you can of what we would deem eligibility. Now, a couple things on that. One, the R.J. Lewis kid who they took is not eligible. So that is an X factor that I don't think a lot of people realize is that R.J. Lewis falls under the Charles Bediako branch of this isn't a player who's older from Europe. This isn't a player who played in the G League but never played in the NBA. This is a player, and Charles Bediako is the only other one like this. Went through the NBA draft process, willingly gave up his college eligibility, and now wants to come back. And so I had a lot of people on Will Wade on Tuesday when this story broke. Well, if you don't like the rules, change them. Well, here's the thing. He is ineligible per NCAA rules, and now, like we have to do in so many of these cases, you have to go find yourself a favorable judge that you hope will give this guy a temporary restraining order, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. So my only issue with Wade, he took a player who is ineligible. And again, it goes back to all of the same conversations that we had about Charles Bediako. We can dive deeper if you want. I do think this is why the NCAA, especially on the basketball side, is so adamantly pushing for 5-5, just so we can eliminate a lot of this nonsense. But I think that's why that's why I'm frustrated with Will Wade today. I don't care as much about the 23-year-old European guy as I do, the player who willingly gave up his eligibility, saw how much it sucks on the other side, saw that he's not ready for the NBA, and now wants to come back and cash it.
AT, I want to bring up something that has nothing to do with what our audience cares about, but I just sometimes like to talk about things, and this is not about UFOs. This is a sports topic. I wanted to talk to you last week about it, but I went to my son's event, and I didn't make it back on time for the interview. But you came after my guy, Daryl Morey, pretty hard. And there's some parts that I agree with and some parts that I don't. Do you mind just chit-chatting a little bit on Daryl Morey for a second?
Yeah, sure. I think he's the biggest phony in sports. And I don't have a ton of NBA takes, but here's the thing. What I noticed about Daryl Morey, what he's done brilliantly, he's friends with everybody in the media. I literally heard an interview with Nick Wright and Bill Simmons where they referenced to him as our buddy Daryl. Okay, you're allowed to have friends. Everybody has friends in our business that we cover, but that doesn't mean that you can't criticize them. And so what I said about Daryl Morey, and I truly believe it, especially with the Rockets, I thought it was amazing that nobody would call this out. I remember talking to Chris Broussard about this years ago. Every 6 months, he would just change something up so that he could then claim, oh, we're 6 months away from really being where we need to be. So it's like, oh, we're going to trade for Russell. We're going to trade for Chris Paul. Then we're going to trade for Russell Westbrook. Then we're going to trade Clint Capella. And it's like every 6 months you're just reshuffling the deck. And so my only point is this, is that people treat him like he's some brilliant GM. Well, guess what, dude? He's been a GM in the NBA since either 2006 or 2007. I forget the date. He's won 0 NBA titles with 0 NBA Finals appearances and 1 conference finals appearance. And that was, of course, the year the Rockets choked against the Warriors. Now,
they went twice. The Rockets went twice, Aaron.
It was funny. Okay. Oh, my goodness. What an incredible resume for 22 years where you never made the NBA Finals. Now, in his defense, because it was funny, while I was out here in Vegas, I was watching an interview with Chris Paul, and I was thinking how sad it was. I was on air, Fox Sports Radio, that Game 7 when Chris Paul, pulled his hamstring and wasn't able to play, and the Rockets were up 3-2 in that series. So I do understand that he built the closest thing to a team that beat the Warriors when they had Kevin Durant. So maybe that's the stray that isn't fair. But I just thought because he was so buddy-buddy with the media, he got a huge pass for a long time. And I don't think he's terrible at his job. I just don't think he's as good as people have given him credit for.
So a couple quick responses. I wouldn't call Daryl a buddy, but I know him quite well. And I'm only going to talk about his time at Houston. And in his time in Houston, he has the second best record of any GM during that span behind Murray from the Golden State Warriors. The trade to get James Harden at the time was like, well, you're giving that up to get him? Was brilliant, even though I do not like James Harden as a player, never have. And his time in Houston, he went against the Warriors that were a dynasty, and he never beat them. And I do think the year that Chris got hurt, they were going to beat them. They were on their way. But you're not wrong on a lot of things. I don't know if phony is the right word. I think different and really nice human being who still sends me a happy birthday. So like I see things more from I know him well and I like him, but what he did in Philadelphia was definitely not good enough. What he did in Houston I thought was pretty darn good, but not good enough. AT, we got to drop it there. Just wanted to give my guys a little bit of love for a second.
Dan, I don't even know your birthday. Dan, he's a better friend than I am.
Yep.
Man, maybe I need to rethink this take or at least send you more birthday texts. Anyway, have a good week, man. I'll be around, all right?
Happy birthday, Aaron, even though it's not your birthday. Talk to you later.
It's coming up.
What day?
8 weeks.
8 weeks?
You're early. You're just early. Thank you, man.
That's all right. It's getting awkward now. We'll see you later. Bye, buddy. Well, probably can't do a live spot now because we took too much time. We'll be back. It's TexAgs Live.
His Sports Radio.
And Aggie legend is going to be here in studio momentarily. John Byington is already in the lobby. Looking forward to chatting with him here on TexAgs Live as the field manager for the Yard Dogs. They get started later on tonight, so we'll chit-chat with him. But before that, let's find out what's cracking on TexAgs today. Ashley Munson at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Tell us what's popping.
All right, so on TexAgs today, we have Pass Back with Ethan Sanders, Jason Howells around Texas, and Advanced with Richard Zane for the preview of the baseball game tomorrow, and then later on we have the B team.
Yeah, I want to remind folks, if you want to be a part of the preseason kickoff, if you're a premium subscriber, go sign up. Go get it. Like, you want to go do that. It's going to be a great event, and I've already been told a couple national championship head coaches will be hanging out with us along with some other coaches. That's the tease you get. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, as I mentioned, John Byington will join us. But before that, let me tell you about the good people at the Association of Former Students. If your organization or business is looking for an opportunity to engage with Aggies, then check out the Association of Former Students. They bring Aggies of all ages together during their marquee events held throughout the year. Marquee events like Aggie Ring Day, All Aggie Hullabaloo, The Gathering, they all welcome tens of thousands of guests. And there are many sponsorship and vendor opportunities to get your brand in front of those attendees. And they offer a wide variety of both digital and in-person options to promote your brand. And this includes title sponsorship, naming, and on-site presence, activation, recognition, and much, much more. If your business is ready to engage with Aggies, choose a partner that's been with the organization, supporting the Aggie Network for over 140 years. For more information on options available through the association, please email sponsorships at aggienetwork.com. And we're back here on TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. Excited about this next guest. He's an Aggie baseball legend, 3-time All-American, and the man behind one of the most unforgettable days in A&M baseball history. Let's talk to John Byington now to talk about the Bryan Yard Dogs, who kick off their season later on today. Coach, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. So what are the emotions about opening day tonight?
Just very excited. Just on our group chat, guys are already talking it up about how excited they are, and it's opening day for our team. So it's exciting.
There's something about opening day with baseball specifically. I think opening day for football is fun, basketball, but baseball, there's something different. It's magical. Can you kind of explain what it is in your perspective?
That's a good question. Maybe because there's so many games, maybe because it's an everyday type of game. It's just something about starting it off. But that is an interesting concept. It's true. It's unique to baseball.
I haven't given this a lot of thought. I think my opinion on it might be, it is America's pastime, right? So for generations, families have looked forward to this, and it's kind of ingrained in American culture of baseball starts now, and this is where, families have been doing it forever, right? And I think that's a little bit of it as well, because how many kids do you know played baseball growing up that continue to play, that continue to watch it? I still think it's part of our fabric.
Absolutely. Yeah, and maybe it's the time of year. It's like the beginning point of the summer, of the downtime, maybe more and with the tradition of the game in our country.
So I'm trying to think back. November-ish is when you were announced. How did you get involved with the Yard Dogs? How did it all come together?
Okay, well, Mr. Scott Kirk here, the assistant GM, we go back to Abilene. We have Abilene roots, and he offered me the job, and I was really excited to get that. Felt like it was a God thing, working through Scott and me to say, I've been able to be in some summer collegiate ball the last few years, a few times, and so this is a niche for me. I enjoy this, and so I was excited to get this job. I coach high school baseball now in Colorado. We moved to Colorado a couple years ago. And so this gives me an opportunity with, I'm free in the summer to do something like this.
So how does that work? Okay, you coach until hopefully you go as long as possible. You win a state championship, but you go as far as you can, and then you transition here sometime after the season?
Yes, exactly. Yes, and we had a solid year at the high school team. Didn't make the playoffs though, so so that worked out for this because I could be here in plenty of time, but. Yeah, we want to get our high school team to the playoffs too.
So 24 years at McMurray, and then obviously the high school opportunity. What made this the next fun chapter for you?
I love the summer baseball concept. We love, it's good to be back in the college level. I'm enjoying the high school, but college has been most of my career, and I enjoy working with young men. I like the speed of the game a little bit better than high school. And I enjoy playing every day. I love the pro style, playing every day, wood bats. The likeness of pro ball.
What about the Yard Dogs specifically? The name, how it originated and whatnot.
Yeah, well, Scott may be better at answering that question, but I know it's with the railroad down in Bryan, and the toughness of the nature of the people that work the railroad.
So for you, all right, so you played here, I'm going to say a long time ago because it was a long time ago that I was here as well. How much has it changed in your eyes? I don't know how often you make it out here, but just talk about this community, Texas A&M as an institution, College Station, Bryan, the whole Brazos Valley. It's not the same place that I went to school 30 years ago, and I'm sure different for you as well.
Right, it is. It seems bigger. It seems more.
It's a big city now, almost. Yeah.
Yes, it does. We get here, we come to a football game every couple of years, maybe once every 2 or 3 years, and we love being at it. 2 of my 3 children went here, so we would make it, and so we were able to be a part of the community here, or at least be around. And of course, we love it. My son, he wants to tell you hi. He loves your show.
Oh, awesome! Tell him hello. Yeah, you should bring him by next time.
Yeah. He's up in Colorado with us now, but. But he loves TexAgs, so yeah.
Well, next time he's in town, bring him by the studio. We'd love to chat with him. So tell me about your team. Tell me about some of the players. Tell me about the style of baseball you expect to play?
Yeah, good looking group of guys. I got to recruit them during the winter and spring, and now to see them, they're a good looking bunch. We got some fast twitch muscles going. We got some speed. I was watching them move around. I enjoy the athleticism. I wouldn't say there's anything that we're going to be pitching, hitting. I think every aspect of our game looks solid to me. So I'm just anxious to see how we develop and what we turn into.
When you have a short time with a group of young men, how important is culture as opposed to just talent?
It is important. These guys, they're here for a couple of them will be here. A few of them will be here for a month only, and then a good number of them will be here for a couple of months. So it's important to establish that culture. We're having Bible studies once a week. We're having chapel services. We're having services at the field once a week. That's part of what we're doing, but also just the pulling together, just enjoying ourselves and expecting an excellent product to be put on the field. We're trying to build that day by day.
Are you interviewing them and they're interviewing you when you're going through the process?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we had 3 practices, and so we have to do as much as you can those 3 practices. Now we'll be able to come early on game. Once we start playing, it'll be everyday games, but we'll be able to continue to work on development. But it is it's playing from here on out. So we got to kind of coach them on the run, kind of, so to speak.
So being in collegiate baseball for as long as you have been, do you pay attention more to collegiate? Do you pay attention to the big leagues? Do you pay attention to all baseball because you just love baseball?
I'm a big league guy.
Yeah,
I love the Astros, and so I follow them daily. And I love college ball. That's where I've made that's been my bread and butter as far as a work standpoint. But I guess the pro ball is kind of the hobby
where you can be a fan, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back to '89, that magical day. Just what do you remember about leading into those games? Okay. I'm talking about the Texas series, obviously. Leading into it, what do you remember about it? And then kind of take me through that day.
Okay. So we had our team breakfast that morning, and of course, legendary Coach Johnson challenged us because we had lost the first game on Saturday night, and Texas had our number for a number of years, and so he Coach Johnson, he challenged us. I need to go into detail. Talk about maybe throwing at a guy, giving some chin music to one of their guys, some stuff like that. But so we were ready. We were focused, and so that and even though the home runs obviously at the end of the game were huge, but we really jumped out early. Well, that first game, I think maybe 7 in the first inning, and so we came out ready. And then of course the game settled in, and then they come back and even take the lead. So. Just one of those magical things where, we had a couple. I think they had an error, a couple, maybe a chink hit, some things like that. Those are how rallies start. Then it gets going. Then you kind of get some momentum, some confidence, and then you hit the big hit.
Well, let's talk about the first big hit because there were several. Let's talk about that first one.
So that one was so bases loaded, 1 out. We just needed 1 run. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking sac fly. I'm just thinking is get the ball to the outfield. They bring Dressendorfer in, who had pitched, I guess, 9 innings the night before. He comes in relief, and he was a fireballer. He threw hard, and so I just wanted to have I wanted to have my bat ready. I didn't want to be late.
Yeah.
So I was but I wanted to see it. As when we're running third, less than 2 outs, we tell hitters, that's the biggest thing. You have to see it, but still be quick enough to get the barrel to it. So it was an inside fastball, and I just pulled my hands in and got the barrel to it and got enough of it. I didn't just crush it, but it was a good swing. And it got out of the yard. I think the wind was blowing a little bit. So but it would have been a sack. Either way, it would have done the job. We winning the game. I mean, the grand slam's awesome. That's great, but getting the sack, getting the win, that was the goal.
Well, that's a movie scene right there, to be honest with you. And then you had another one not too long after.
Yes, sir. And that one was different in the sense that not as many runs scored, more of a pitcher's duel. It wasn't a pitcher's duel, but it was lower scoring. Mm-hmm. That one was different in the sense that, again, Gaskell, the pitcher they brought in, I'd faced him the first game, and he was heavy on sliders. So I went ahead and just 2 outs this time. So now we need a hit, not just a sac fly. So I'm going to sit on the slider. I'm going to look for it, and sure enough, he just first pitch trying to get it in there, trying to get ahead of me, and so I was ready. So I barreled that. I got all of that one. So that felt good.
Do you remember your first at bat as an Aggie?
Yeah.
Or your first game?
First game, yes.
Tell me a little bit about that first game, because I have some notes here that I want to make sure that I'm reading it right. But you got 3 hits on your first day, right?
Yes, sir. And I think I was sitting in the 8 hole. I think they put me in the 8 hole and hit 3 hits. And I think it was Northeast Louisiana, maybe. But yeah, a lot of fun. The thing I remember is getting my first hit. I think there was an RBI. And just hearing the crowd roar. Yeah. I mean, hearing the crowd roar. That was a thrilling moment.
How'd you pick A&M? What was it about Texas A&M that made it the place for you?
Coach Johnson and Coach Lawler, and then Coach Hickey was our other coach. Of course, all 3 of them were great coaches, but they showed me a lot of attention. They called. They came to my home. Back then, Texas, it still is, but they were kind of the elite, and then everybody else was under them. But of course, we changed some of that, but. They just showed me a lot more attention, the coaches, and they were great men, and they just sold me on them, Coach Johnson, Lawler, and Hickey.
You able to pay attention to the current Aggie baseball team?
Yes, they're doing great. I'm really proud of them. They're doing a nice job. Excited about the postseason.
Yeah, and I'm just curious, do your former players know stuff? I'm sure they use Google, but how often do people your former players or even current players ask you about, hey, man, I saw this about you. I saw this legendary moment. I saw what you did at A&M.
Yes, it comes up from time to time. Yes, I mean, maybe not as much as it did 10, 15 years ago, but it still does. It still comes up.
Yeah. What do you think it takes to get hot in the tournament setting? I'm thinking about A&M baseball right now as they're in Hoover getting ready for this SEC tournament. And we think they've done enough to be a top 8 national seed, but there might be some work to do. What does it kind of take to just, be successful in a tournament setting and postseason in general?
Right. I think that if you can get the bats going, now you have to pitch, right? Mm-hmm. We all know that. But teams... Hitting's the more difficult side. If you can keep the bats going and get some momentum with the bats, I think that's huge. Obviously, good pitching can stop good hitting, and so A&M we want to use our pitching to stop the other teams. So it's all about getting quality starts from the pitchers, and it's just about executing.
Yeah.
There's nothing different necessarily, but the momentum becomes more of a factor because it's one game after another, fighting to the end.
Yeah. What's your son's name back in Colorado?
Kaysen.
Okay, because there's a gentleman on the YouTube chat, C. Bino. I think it's him. He says, Nuño, I'd love to come by and say hi. So giving a shout out to Kaysen here on TexAgs. That'd be fun. So tell me about tonight. What are some things we can expect?
Well, really excited, like we said. Devin Cummings starting for us from Temple Junior College. Mm-hmm. Real excited about our pitchers. I like our lineup. The guys yesterday, and they just hit the ball all over the yard, showing some power, showing some contact ability. Excited to see what the lineup can do. Put them together and see get them in an order and see how productive they can be. But I feel good about it. I think we've had some good days practicing, and it's just see what happens.
Our friend Jessica from Bubba's 33 said they're going to be out there supporting. There's something about being at this kind of ballpark and this experience that's great for families, right?
Right. Oh yes. The summer concept is great. We have host families that are hosting our players, and that's a huge thing for them to be able to have a home they're in. They're away from home, and just the community here in Bryan and College Station. We want it to be fun for everybody.
I'm embarrassed for not knowing. Did the nickname Big John come from the play, or is that something from high school, growing up? When did you get the nickname Big John?
That was the walk-up song that Derek Grubbs came up with back back in '87.
Okay, and that just became what they called you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're super excited about having you back in town. Looking forward to see what the Yard Dogs do. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks, David.
Appreciate you. John Byington here on TexAgs Live. We'll hit a break. We'll come back with the fan show. Kaysen, you're invited next time you want to come by. It's TexAgs Live.
What's up, everybody? I'm here to tell you about Fratella Italian Cafe. If anyone knows anything about Italian food, it's me, Billy Lucci. And Fratella has the best Italian food in BCS. Located at 3901 South Texas Avenue, Fratella is known for their handmade pasta dishes and feature lasagna, beef cannelloni, chicken parmesan, chicken fettuccine alfredo, a couple of my favorites, just a big old bowl of plain old spaghetti and some manicotti. Really recommend the manicotti. That's my go-to. And don't walk out of there without trying the fresh, piping hot breadsticks and the homemade in-house cheesecake, which is incredible. It's great for dining in, catering, gift cards, and even shipping, which they do nationwide. Fratella's is Aggie-owned and operated, and it's an official restaurant partner of Texas A&M Athletics. I'll see you there.
And we are back. It is TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the world famous...
Everyone's favorite.
Fan Show!
Everyone's favorite?
Everyone.
9 people's favorite.
9 people said they really liked us last week. So.
9 out of 24,000.
9 out of 10 doctors would recommend us.
Yes, and if you... Never mind. I was going to go a direction I shouldn't go. Welcome, gentlemen. Matt Browning and Roy May here on the Fan Show.
Good morning, David.
Good morning, guys. Let's.
Good morning, all, to the TexAgs universe.
You guys, you said I was in a good mood. You guys are in a good mood.
We brought it today.
Yeah,
I'm bringing it.
What are you excited about?
Well, he was upset last week. He's like, "Man, it was like the worst show I've ever had."
It was bad.
Remind me, what did you do wrong?
I don't know.
Did you guess something wrong? I don't
know. I think you came up. You said something that I felt like I was supposed to be in the know about, but I didn't know about it.
Isn't that most topics in the show, though?
I literally just go, "Hey, Roy, what do you think?" So I had no idea. I didn't remember what it was. Something about baseball that I apparently missed, and so I don't even remember.
You know, Michael Earley.
It was the pitching. It was Aiden Sims not pitching.
Yeah. Well,
it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, we got Browning in headlights.
Yeah, he did.
We got Aiden Sims. Oh, he's not pitching.
I was like, Roy, what do you think? So you just pass it to Roy. Roy takes care of it. He'll jump into softball. He makes content there.
Not anymore.
Uh-oh.
Don't get me started.
Yeah.
What a good mood.
Well, let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Ashley Munson making her debut on the show. You get the first question. I know it's hard. You choose who and what.
Roy, I'm going to go to you.
Yeah, I get to go first.
What's on your mind today?
I'm going to take this. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And welcome.
Thank you so much.
So what's on my mind today has nothing to do with sports.
Okay.
It is coming up on Memorial Day weekend. So
aliens?
It's not aliens. That's between you and AT. No, it's Memorial Day weekend, so it's a special weekend. You know, obviously for myself, really for the whole community. You don't have to be a veteran to appreciate Memorial Day. You know, it signifies all those that paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms. So Saturday morning, weather permitting, we'll be doing flags in at the American Legion Post at Agland Post 1938. We'll be doing flags in at the College Station Cemetery. Welcome to join us. If the weather's good, it's 8:30 in the morning. And then obviously there's a Memorial Day service at the Bryan VFW on Monday at 11 a.m. Open to the public, please, by all means. So just it's a happy, sorrowful weekend kind of thing. Just remembering a lot of my buddies that didn't come back. But
yeah. I just want to say I know a lot of veterans. I do, especially with all of our connections with the Chris Kyle Foundation and all that sort of stuff. But I got to give Roy some credit. Roy is as active in that veteran community as anybody I know, and he does a lot of stuff for it. So good on you, buddy. Appreciate your service.
Thank you.
By the way, kind of off topic, but what you just said there, Chris Kyle, I didn't realize how close he was with Cody Johnson. Did you know that they were super tight, the country singer?
Actually, I didn't.
Yeah, in his documentary, they talk about Chris Kyle's wife is in it as well. So
it's kind of a random connection.
Yeah.
That is weird. So
I think they worked at the same rodeo. Or
they may have. That's all Chris did.
Yeah.
Chris and Jeff both just
they worked at the same place for a long time.
Yeah,
close to Huntsville, somewhere close to Huntsville.
I'm sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, what's on your mind?
Well, obviously we've got a big weekend of baseball coming up. I've got 2 things actually.
Okay.
Well, I've got 2 things.
Oh boy, here we go.
I know we're going to get into baseball. So baseball is the number one thing on my mind. We've got a big weekend coming up. I think it's huge for our seeding. I think we need a good showing still. I know it seems weird. I know it's Saturday.
So weird coming from you with your BAS.
Well, Saturday was such a huge win, though. That win on Saturday was an absolute must win. It was, and we did. And it was a tight game, and Mississippi State's a good ball club. They really are. But that was an absolute must win.
Yep.
Pulled off the victory, but I still think we need a good showing. I mean, we want to be a top 8 seed. So I think but also I'm really into the Western Conference Finals right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get off Aggie topics somewhat, but there's an Aggie related there.
Caruso?
My goodness. So let me just preface this by saying I'm a diehard Spurs fan. Have been my entire life. I remember when we drafted David Robinson, and growing up in the center of the state, when you grow up in the center of the state, you get to choose. Look, if you're from Houston, you've got to be a Rockets, Texans, and an Astros fan, right? If you're from Dallas, you've got to be a Cowboys, Mavs, and Rangers fan, right? You grew up in the center of the state, you get to pick. Right,
Browning's just making up rules right now.
Yeah,
no, I still think you just got to. I just can't stand that guy.
I feel like if you live in Austin, you have to root for the Spurs. Isn't that the rule?
No. I know. I lived in Austin. I know lots of people who chose.
I feel like when you grow up in Houston and the Texans literally haven't been a franchise, you don't have to be a Texans fan.
At our age, yeah, probably so. You can be a Cowboys fan still, or like a Saints fan.
I'm an Oilers fan.
Yeah, he probably still cheers for the Titans.
No, I don't. I've never cheered for the Titans. I cheer for the Oilers.
So that boy.
The Oilers are my team, not
that
freaking
boy.
Nashville team.
I still remember the song.
So with that being said, I'll be honest. I actually took a hiatus from the NBA. I love the NBA.
I do know this.
Pop got the whole woke nonsense and all that stuff, and I didn't want politics in my sports, right? And so
I'm currently in a hiatus, but we can talk about that some other time.
So I said I'm done. I'm done until Pop is gone, right? And I did. I love Pop, but he and I just disagree on certain things, and so I was finished until they got politics out of my sports. I just don't want it there, right? That's where we go to escape that nonsense. So he's gone, and so I'm back in the fold, and they just so happen to be really good.
Wemby.
So I mean, Wemby's an alien. He's
speaking of
crazy.
aliens, yeah.
But also, as a diehard Spurs fan who's all in on this team, right? I really like this team. To watch Alex Caruso, our guy, come out and play the way he has just been unbelievable.
What did he do last night?
He was everywhere. He didn't have the game last night that he did game one, but he was everywhere. I mean, he is battling. They were putting him on a 7'5" alien in the paint to guard him. They've got Alex Caruso guarding Victor Wembanyama in the paint, and he's keeping him out of the paint for the most part. I mean, sometimes he really is. I mean, none of the other guys, none of their bigs can do it, so they put Caruso on him.
I love that.
And Caruso has been unbelievable in the series, he was actually driving me a little crazy. But it's a really weird feeling because I'm pulling for my team, but at the same time, that's our guy, right? And he just so happens to play for the other team, but you gotta love him. I mean, the kid grew up in Castlegate. I mean, he and my brother are friends. My brother used to ball with him at the Castlegate courts, and so
and you basically just perfectly encapsulated what it's like to play fantasy football.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's true.
I want you to go off, but I want my team to win.
Yeah, but it's awesome to see Alex play so good and play so well and be the heart and soul. I mean, I'm telling you, if Alex Caruso wasn't on, we would be up 2-0 right now.
Yeah.
We would have blown him out in game one. I mean, he was the difference in game one. He's the reason they got to double overtime.
Yeah.
And so to watch Caruso play so well has been a blast.
Out of curiosity, do you guys know why I'm on my NBA hiatus?
I mean, it's got to be hard being a Rockets fan.
Do you know why?
Mm-hmm.
There's two reasons. A, when I moved here, like my focus is all on Aggie sports, so I only have so much time with 1,800
bandwidth,
and all my kids are playing sports, right?
All your kids are sports.
And the Luka trade. I'm out.
The Luka trade got you off of the Rockets? You're a Rockets fan, right?
I'm a 50-50 fan. I'm a Rockets Mavs fan.
Are you really?
You didn't know this?
No.
How do you knew that? No, you didn't know that. You didn't. I can't tell.
I didn't.
Yeah, because I worked for the Mavs for many years.
Oh, that's right. You did. Yeah.
So
do you not ever listen to him talk?
Yeah.
Do you ever listen to TexAgs
I forgot about the Mavs part. Sorry,
Yeah.
I know his Houston connection. I forgot about the Mavs part.
So, and it's funny, somebody on TexAgs says, Nuño says Luka's his favorite player, but he can't pronounce his last name correctly.
What's his last name?
Doncic, but I think I call him Donick because it looks like Donick.
It does look like Donick.
Anyway, how about Aggie baseball? Shall we talk about that?
Let's do it.
So they were picked to be 13th. They finished third. There's talk about what their seed's going to be. You said a moment ago they got to have a good showing to ensure where they are.
Mm-hmm.
But at what point did you actually believe in this team? Was there a weekend, a day? Was it the Texas series? Was it Mississippi State comeback with all the things going against them? At what point you're like, dude, this team really is one of the better teams in college baseball that has a chance to go to Omaha?
I mean, I guess you could look at it and start. I mean, it's hard because you look at the talent, right? I mean, right out of the gate, you've got maybe you have the top. You know, when you go first, second, third, that's probably the best in the country, right? And it looked like that almost from the get go.
Yep.
I mean, with Grovic, Sorrell, and Hakopian, I mean, you're like, wow, okay, there's some punch here, right? And we knew it would boil down to pitching. Well, pitching has been a bit of an Achilles heel, but the offense has been so good that I think that we knew we were good, but I didn't know how good we were until the Texas series. I think Texas was the one because that was such a good team with so much on the line and so much
in the middle of that hard part of your schedule, too.
I mean, to do that, and then to sweep LSU, and then to sweep, who do we sweep right after LSU? Missouri. To have 3 sweeps in a row. Wasn't it 3? Am I right? Yeah.
No, Vanderbilt, you won 2 of 3. Then it went Vanderbilt, Texas was a 2-0 sweep. Then at LSU, then you go to Florida.
We had like a 9-game winning streak or 10-game winning streak at one point, which was pretty darn impressive. So
why am I not seeing Missouri?
Yeah, so you got Texas, Houston.
Missouri was earlier in the year.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a. I think that's kind of the area where we're like, okay, not only is this team a postseason team, this could be a super regional hosting super regional team. You know, so that's kind of when that's when I thought.
For you?
Yeah, it's been kind of a roller coaster, right? The first 2 series, we kind of stepped in it. You know, and you're like, here we go again. Sweet, awesome, great, grand, love it. But as you saw him progress, and Texas was so big, but for me, I think maybe the light went on, and again, roller coaster after this, but I think the light went on when they went to Florida, dropped the Friday game, and you're like, okay, crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to come back and win against a powerful Florida team, right? And to win the series by winning the last 2 games, I think just for me, it was seeing that bounce back, doing it on the road against a good ball club. Just kind of confirmed it, for me. I put a lot of stock in how you play on the road, right? And sweeping LSU in the box obviously is huge. Like first time we did it in forever, if not ever, like since the 70s, I think. So for me, it was probably there. It's just, and it's not that I'm shaky about the national seed. I think we're locked in. I think we're locked into 8. But if we were to win, if we were to beat Auburn, I think it's a no doubter. If we don't beat Auburn, it's not that it removes us. It's if we don't beat Auburn and some other people around us do good things in their tournaments. So for me, just lock it up, no stress, go beat Auburn.
Go beat Auburn.
But if you don't, again, if the teams around you don't have any success, I think you're still there at 8.
Let's hit a break. We'll come back. We'll do a little bit more baseball. I got some football things to get into as well, and we got to talk softball. I know you don't want to. You're in a good mood, but we got to talk about it. All right, let's talk Rollo Insurance. Insurance decisions should not be made in 15 minutes or less. You need somebody who's going to know your entire situation. That means somebody who doesn't just, hey, phone call, hey, let me know, what do you got? How many kids? Great. This is what you're serving. No. You want somebody who knows your situation. That's what the Rollo people do there. Morgan's my guy. They take time. Is he your guy too? He's your guy. Well, they take time to explain in policy in detail, in language that you can understand. They want to make sure that you're covered in every aspect that you need to be covered in. If it's ranch insurance, car insurance, homeowners insurance, you name it. Business insurance. Many clients discover protections at competitive rates simply because they finally understand their options. Visit RolloInsurance.com/TexAgs. That's RolloInsurance.com/TexAgs. Or call them up, 888-44-ROLLO. That is 888-44-ROLLO. And we're back here on TexAgs Live. We're still presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Still a fan show. We've got 2 fans in here. Anyway.
Still presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. Like a monster's going to swoop in at the commercial break.
You never know. You never know. Just kidding. Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. And that's where we find Miss Munson. You have the opening question of the segment.
Yes, this is a question for all of you guys. If you had to pick one team right now to win Hoover, who are you taking?
Ooh. Is that from somebody?
That was just for me.
Wow, she just said, bro.
See, she's like, I don't need the chat.
It's hard because if you'd asked me this before we knew who we were playing, I probably would have said, I think the hottest team right now is Auburn.
Yep.
Auburn's pitching and Auburn's been really good. I would have said Auburn, but now I can't say Auburn because obviously because I want us to beat them. So, Georgia. Georgia's they've matched all year. They've been the best team. They've been the best team in the SEC all year long. I think from both their pitching and of course their offense is just unbelievable. So I'd say Georgia.
Roy,
I'm going to tell you somebody that'll help us out. So I'll go with Florida.
They're going to help us out. They got to lose. We need them to lose. They don't help us.
If not us, is what I'm saying. If not us, Florida, because we beat Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if Florida wins, we're probably not.
They could jump us.
Yeah, so I hate your idea.
No, I'd probably go chalk with Georgia though.
Honestly, I hate to say this, but Georgia or Texas would be probably the best case scenario for A&M.
No,
Georgia.
No.
I mean,
Georgia's fine.
But
not Texas. Come
we
on.
swept Texas, and if it does make us look better. I hate to say that.
But then I know exactly what they're typing right now. Ha ha! You guys beat us, and we still win the SEC. Take that, pal.
They are just the most awful human beings.
I'm going to go with.
I'm telling you, they could play
Georgia.
They could play the Taliban in football.
I'm rooting for the Taliban.
I'd cheer for the Taliban.
Yeah. I don't know if I should say that.
Yeah. Well.
I'm going to say Alabama. Alabama's going to win Hoover.
Okay, I like it.
Because they may play Georgia.
Roy and I took the easy route. We took
what's the
far the best team so far. But I don't know how.
You don't know in tournament play either, though.
I don't know how locked in Georgia's going to be. They're going to be a 1 or 2 seed in the overall tournament, and so how about the state of Georgia in college baseball right now? With Georgia Tech and Georgia, they might be the 1 seed and 2 seed.
And how are they going to be in football this year?
Well, Georgia will be good. Tech will always be just Tech, I guess.
Tech's been pretty good the last couple of years.
Speaking of Tech, did you hear when Tom Brady called Texas Tech? He said they're a glorified community college.
He said this at a graduation, right?
Yeah.
Why did they come up?
Tom Brady, a Michigan guy who spent his entire career in New England, took a shot at poor little Tech out there in Lubbock. Who knows why?
Poor little Tech.
Yeah, can you imagine had that been us? Oh my gosh,
we'd have lost our mind.
Oh, he would have been enemy number 1. Right now, it's kind of funny though.
Yeah, it's funny. We love it when it's not us.
We all like to point and laugh. We don't like to be pointed at.
So I'm going to ask. Well, I'm going to do one more baseball. Then we got to do Trisha for a second. We'll ask about softball in general. So Ethan Darden, this guy last weekend has a rough one and a great one.
Good one, yeah.
And he might be the guy we see mañana. So just talk about that.
Yeah, I think it has to be him tomorrow.
Yeah, the question is how long does he go before we start dipping into the bullpen? I think for the most part, I think we trust. I think there's a lot of trust for Earley right now, and pitching though has just been such a weird deal that that's a tough question. But the guy gave up 13 runs. I know he didn't give up all of them, but he gave up a lot of runs in 1 inning. So and then to turn around and pitch really well, it's crazy.
Yeah, obviously mental fortitude to be able to come back and do that in the same weekend, right? And physical fortitude, quite frankly. Pitchers are a little quirky. Once they throw, they're done, kind of thing. But him being bullpen thrust into starting role, he's a little bit more used to throwing multiple times in a weekend. For me, it's got to be Darden. And I know at one point, the thought was you throw Darden out there, you let him get through the lineup once, and then you bring in somebody else. I think you just let him roll, man. I think you just let him go and see how far he can get you.
I've liked Sadeo coming as a middle reliever. I think he's and who knows, something like that could get him
mentally back
where he could go back and be a starter.
Yeah, he was just coming out of the pen before. We've seen how good he can be out of the pen. So for me, it's for me, it's Darden, and then bring in Sadeo and see what happens. See if he can run you to the 8th, maybe, and then a 3-pitcher game would be nice.
Just get to fresh corn and you're fine.
All right, here's my next one. We got really good, not so good. All right, so we're going to react to both right now. Mark Weaver, freaking stud, right? The ninja that he is, right? So they win another national championship, and they go through a very similar path that volleyball had to go through, just a ridiculous path of teams that you had to beat. Softball, unfortunately, losing in the regional again. Kay was on the show yesterday, and we kind of talked about it sucks, no doubt about it. But I think what makes it suck more is because it happened last year. This year makes a little bit more sense because how good Arizona State's playing. But when it's followed up by last year, it hurts even more, Roy.
Oh, absolutely. So, some of the comments I've seen are, this is a trend, man. Getting bounced out of your own regional. Again, like you said, being a 15 seed, and we knew that the teams coming into this, into our bracket, it was a tough one, right? I mean, Arizona State won the Big 12. They're not bad. The Big 12's not bad at softball, even though they lost.
They beat Texas Tech.
Yeah, even though they lost, Texas and OU to the SEC. Big 12 softball is still good.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm sure it stings a little bit more for Tricia, given that it's her old ball club. It's just for me, it's disappointing because last year was an anomaly, right? It's never happened that a 1 seed gets bounced. So thankfully, we get to stake our name to that. But you lose Lefty, and I think we all kind of thought that there was a successor there, and Tricia prides herself on being a pitching coach, and just the pitching hasn't been there this year. It hasn't. Baseball and softball have been wildly similar in the sense that the pitching we've had to work around the pitching to be successful, and when you're having to do that, and then your bats go cold, you're not going to beat anybody, much less Arizona State. So disappointing exit again. If you could take it fully out, if last year hadn't happened, this year just kind of stinks. But because last year happened, you're like, what the crap, man? And Arizona State just squashed them like a bug. I mean, the game wasn't competitive, and you're leaving way too many lobsters, way too many people left on base, and so it was disappointing without a doubt. Like you didn't get a chance to bring it to a championship game, right? Mm-hmm. But it is what it is, man. She's got to reload, and I guarantee you she knows exactly what she needs to do for next year to get everything back on track. She knows who she's leaving. She knows who she has to replace. She did a good job bringing in people this year again. So it reminds me a little bit of Early and even Elko in the sense that we're like, hey, all right, we're going to trust you. And Bucky, right? We're going to trust you because you brought people in and they worked. The final product wasn't what anybody wanted, but we can see that you're capable. Softball's a little bit weirder, man. You need to buy one pitcher and you can win a national title. But there's just so few of those one pitchers. So what you need to do is go find 2 1As or 1Bs. You got to do it, and we've got to support. If we want softball to win championships, we've got to support it. And we've got to pump money into it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. And I'll admit, I don't know softball anywhere near as well as Roy does. Roy follows it. I do not follow nearly as well as he does. But from everything I know, I think there's still a lot of trust and faith in Coach Ford. And,
absolutely.
It's just one of those that it's been a rough go, but when you do get over that hump, eventually they will. I mean, A&M's women's sports are phenomenal. I mean, if you look at volleyball and you look at what Coach Weaver's done on the tennis side, I mean, that's what we get to hang our hat on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that there's a lot of trust there, but I mean, how about tennis? Man,
how about that?
That's fantastic. That's a cool thing. You and I both know Coach Weaver personally. He's a really good dude, and we have lunch with him from time to time, and so really good dude.
He's a great guy.
Couldn't be happier for him. All the girls in that team. And so it's just been a really fun couple of years for sure.
Let me bring you back to softball real quick, and let's reframe something real quick. Obviously, disappointment 2 years in a row, right? Bounced out of the regional. But and I understand what the expectations are in each sport, right? From our fan base, and I fully understand the expectations of the coaches, right? But being in a regional 2 years in a row now, okay, all right. So let's look at it this way: postseason, no problem. We weren't like chewing on our nails trying to get seated in, right? And we hosted regionals, not just make the bracket, but we hosted regionals. So if you want to look at it from a positive standpoint, if you want to spin this, like we are knocking on the door. Like we're knocking on the door. We hosted a regional 2 years in a row. One of those years we were national seed. We're knocking on the door. It's like we're just missing a couple puzzle pieces. So if you want to look at it positively moving forward, I 1,000% trust her support, right? And I trust that she's going to get this. And you don't say back on track. I mean, we hosted a regional. Yeah, we blew it, but we're hosting regionals consistently. And that's the key to winning because the majority of sports goes chalk in college. So you got to be one of those seeds to make it, right?
All right, let's hit a break here. Come back. One final segment. Right now, we're talking Caldwell Country Chevrolet Highway 21 in Caldwell. Online at CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com. They don't just sell cars, they build relationships. Their strong and committed sales staff is going to guide you through the entire process, making sure that you get the right deal for you and your family. Their service doesn't stop after the sale, they just continue on. So the pre-sale, the during the sale, and afterwards, you're going to get a great bit of advice and just good people. They're going to make sure that you get the right car for your family. Experience what it's like to do business with a small-town dealer that actually cares. It's about a 15-minute drive, the edge of Bryan to the beginnings of Caldwell. A short conversation away, but you'll see the difference when you step on the lot and do business with the good people at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell, online, CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to TexAgs Live. Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Munson, can you go 3 for 3 on your questions?
I hope. I think I have a pretty good question to ask.
Uh-oh.
It's going to be a little bit more on the football side. What was y'all's first reaction to seeing Ed Orgeron back at LSU?
Did you know that, Brownie?
I did.
Okay.
Know that, yeah.
Roy?
Get the check.
Do we know what his role is?
Can
He's
you
just a
answer?
consultant. Is that basically all he is? I mean, that's the. It's. But I mean, where else is the guy going to go? Right? I mean, if he
nowhere. He's got a ton of money. He should just sit on a beach and drink.
But he.
Those guys have.
I think he's done that. I think he got bored. I think that's all. If you wanted to find Ed Ogeron in the last
breaking
Matt
mics left and right.
If you wanted to find Ed Ogeron in the last few years, just go down to Mexico, find a beach, and just look for the fat tan dude. Is all you do.
Fat tan dude.
Well, but again, like
eating corn dogs.
If you're a head coach in college football, your brain works different, right?
Mm-hmm.
You always want to be competing. You want to win championships. But him being back at LSU, honestly, it's not as much about Ed Orgeron as it is Lane Kiffin.
Right.
I think this is Lane Kiffin just showing that he can do what he wants to do at LSU. So first of all, children's hospitals, beware. But I think part of it literally is Lane just trying to flex a little.
So I'm curious, what would you do if you were in Ed Orgeron's financial situation, or what would you be doing, Browning?
I thought about that. Like if there ever gets to a point where I've got enough money, I don't have to work anymore. What would I do? I mean, I like helping people, so I would be doing something. I'd be doing some
philanthropic.
I'd be doing some sort of faith-based charity or something.
Okay.
That's where I would put all my time and all my effort, all my.
See, he's a good person. Mine's are all vain. Go ahead, Roy.
You'd never see me again.
Roy's gone. See you, Roy.
I would literally spend my life splitting time between College Station
and Ireland.
I'd probably see you then.
You've been in Europe.
Probably Scotland. Definitely Munich. Dublin. I would literally just be just a plane hopper. Well, I'd have my own plane, so there's that.
Here's what I would do. I'd definitely have a place on the beach, but I would be here doing the go hour only.
Yeah.
And lifting and cleaning. That would be my life. Go hour, lift, clean, beach.
Watch my kids play
cleaning.
I love a clean house. Nothing drives me more crazy than kids leaving their socks everywhere.
I'm going to invite David over.
Dog hair.
Hey, I'll feed you.
Okay.
I'll feed you. I took one of the best fillets of Bro.
Roy can cook.
I don't go out to eat not because it's expensive. I don't go out to eat because I can do it better than they can.
So, look, I'm a novice. But for years, when I've grilled, I just do it by sight. It looks ready. Pork looks, yeah.
That's
finally
an
got
approach.
but it worked. I finally got the thermometer. Oh my God, so much better.
So much more flavor.
140 degrees in the middle of a pork chop. Let's go.
Yeah, it
made all the difference in the world.
140. Jeez, he's already wrong.
That's what Google AI said. 140 in the middle of a pork chop. What do you think it should be?
I mean, he's just got E. coli just living in his system.
I pull pork up to 125 and let it rest. It's perfect.
Okay. Well, now that I know I won't get E. coli doing it, that's
won't.
the next.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm still here alive.
Yeah, but
are you?
I'm a little dead inside, but
I mean, Roy kills the E. coli with all with the alcohol. That's what he does.
None of the people around me that have eaten when I have cooked, they are all currently upright. All right.
All right, guys, we're gonna call it
Dude,
a day.
I'll grill a fillet. You can cut with a spoon, bro. I'll teach you how to do it too.
With a spoon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to your house soon. That's going to do it for TexAgs Live and the world-famous fan show that 9 out of 2,000 people love. We will see you tomorrow with a baseball bunch, I think, kind of. Richard from Zoom, I'm assuming. And, of course, Billy Lucci, OB. We'll see you then.
It's adult.